Welcome into the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 101.
Can't think of anybody.
Holiday edition. This is the holiday edition.
Man.
This is holiday week.
Dude, I'm excited, man. A lot of good shit going on.
Are you getting Kate anything for the holidays?
Man, she's so hard to deal with. Oh, God. Not hard to deal with. No, hold on. Let me rephrase that.
Hard to shop for.
She's so fucking hard to shop for. I'm the easiest goddamn guy in the world. I say, give me... Oh, that was a window. Almost killed me. But I'm like, I'm easy. Like, golf stuff to this. You got new... I mean, I'm so easy. Hell, give me some candy. I don't give a fuck.
Golf stuff?
Well, I'm going to get into golf.
You don't even golf?
No, well, I do, but I need new golf shit. So I'm so easy. But Kate, do I get her clothes? No, because she's very picky. Do I give her stuff for the house? Well, no, because I don't know shit, and then I get it for her. She's gonna be like, I'll put that in the fucking extra bedroom way in the attic, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I don't know what to get her. I did get her. She doesn't listen to this.
You buy her jewelry?
No, she doesn't like jewelry.
You don't like any of that.
No, she's got a fat ass ring. That's all she fucking.
That's all she wants. Are you sure that's all she wants?
Yes, I'm sure, dude. I've been dating her.
I think you need to open up the wallet.
10 years.
You need to open up the wallet.
Motherfucker, are you crazy that I don't open my wallet?
I think you're getting a little cheap.
Do I look fucking cheap?
I don't know, man. That's just what I'm feeling.
I'm gonna show you my fucking bank account and what I spend every. Get the fuck on. I'm on a fucking.
What are you spending it on every day?
Well, I used to spend on all kinds of shit. I used to spend like fucking $40,000 a month in the summer times, partying with the boys, but. Right now, like she's in control of shit, and we're in a good spot. But I don't know what the fuck to get her. So I got her this awesome castle picture. Our new house looks like a castle. So we are obsessed with fucking castles and Middle Age and Europe and things like that. So I got her a cool picture of a castle. She's probably gonna put it in the basement somewhere in the kitty room of a castle in Scotland. It looks awesome.
Nice.
It kind of looks like ours a little bit. But our house.
Where do you envision that going? Where do you envision it being?
I told you, the fucking attic or the basement.
No, where
the kitty litter
where
box
would you want it to be?
Oh, anywhere, wherever she's happy with. I want her to be happy. I don't give a fuck if she's happy. I'm happy. Like honestly, how it works.
Like a limited edition castle.
It's pretty cool. No, it's just like we lived over in seas. We fucking traveled. We saw castles. We went to York and France and all this shit. We love chateaus. We love castles. There's a big difference between the two, Andy. You probably don't know shit.
The difference.
I'll explain.
I've been to France.
Listen to me. A castle is more of a fortified thing where when William the Conqueror came over to England, he built all these fucking castles in England and they were fortified, meaning like they have their moat and bailey and all that shit, and they'd have their protective walls. Now a chateau, whenever the Renaissance...
What's a chateau?
Listen to me, fuck.
Chateau.
Yeah, chateau. Doesn't matter. When the Renaissance started coming, after the Dark Ages, people didn't have to defend their territories because it was more of a united kingdom at that point. So they would build lavish shit. Like fucking King Louis the fucking 14th would make all these chateaus in France, and and even King Henry the VIII would build all these castles, and it wasn't for a defense mechanism.
So are you moving to a castle or a chateau?
Yeah, I don't. No one's bombarding me with fucking.
And it's a chateau. It's not a chateau.
I don't give a shit what it is. That's what it looks like.
But
I love it.
You got her a picture of a castle.
You have a castle, so I fucked that up.
I think you need to get her a picture of a chateau.
They're $5,000. I looked up these. I'm like, give me a picture of a chateau whatever in France, and I'm like, it's like fucking $5,500. I'm like, oh my fuck. The podcast ain't there yet. It's going to be, but it's not there yet. But anyway, just little things like that. I mean, shit, Kate could just give me a tin of chew, but then I wouldn't chew it.
Oh, you would like that.
But then I wouldn't chew it because we got fucking Canadips, baby. We'll get into that later.
Would you put that chew in the stocking? Would you be excited to wake up to that?
Kate could put a bunch of sprees. I don't know if these Canadian buys know sprees. Sprees are my favorite. And she could put
Is that your favorite candy?
Yes, sprees.
Oh, let's get
They're badass.
Let's get them on board.
Yeah. Can you? Oh, is it Milton? Is it? Who are they?
I don't know. We'll get sprees on board.
Whatever.
Show us your chill zone, hanging out with your sprees.
But we always talk about chill zone, guys. When I chill, and Andy, I saw your picture of your backyard too. You got the fire pit going out there. You got your fucking feet up. You got this high school behind you where they're playing the fucking bands marching down. The kids are dancing in the back. It's fucking awesome, man. Like, do you not just chill and you put some music on and do your thing? Do you like what do you listen to then? Because I like all kinds of different shit.
I do too. And, well, you know what I like?
What?
I like good,
bluegrass?
I like good, like, jam bands. I like good jazz music. Like old school, like Miles Davis, Coltrane.
Who got you into that? Like, how do you get into that when
you know what, man?
Seriously, though.
It was just being younger and just exploring all different types of music.
You just said it, though.
And
you're being younger. Mm-hmm. So what young kid that you hung out with listens to that fucking music? So you're like, hey, listen to
like
this.
Medeski, Martin, and Wood. Like all my friends, like, we used to go to all these concerts and all these shows all the time.
Okay.
Like when you're kind of like on the concert circuit, like traveling around.
Yeah.
You know.
I was.
And you're just going to shows. And then you go to festivals, and then you learn about this band. You meet someone who's in that band. You go watch this band. You go to like New Orleans Jazz Fest, which I've been to a couple times, which is one of the best jazz festivals you're gonna find anywhere in the world, and it's amazing.
I don't know.
And then they're playing like music at nighttime and stuff like that
so
at little bars.
Let me give you an example.
Then like reggae music, man. You go to reggae festivals, you see like Burning Spear, you see Culture, you see some of these reggae bands, you see them live. You might even see them live on like an Indian reservation or something like that, and it's just like
How do you go to an Indian?
Experience.
How are you like? Let's go to this Indian reservation and listen to what'd you say? Spear Train?
I saw Burning Spear.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Here's the point.
On an Indian reservation.
Here's what I gotta say. And people always tell me, and look, you talked about bluegrass, and now I'm getting messages from all the buys.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, fucking Cam, try this out. I'll try anything out, as you know. Anymore. Hi. I'm normal now.
Recreational music.
Well, you gotta get your mind right, especially when you're jamming out.
Especially when you're eating these. I don't know what you have today.
What?
You've got like a
Hillshire.
Is that like an adult version?
It's an adult version of
a
snack
Lunchable.
Pack. Yes, of a Lunchable.
That looks disgusting.
I'm a fucking child.
It looks so gross.
Here's the point. If I watch a band,
they've got
live,
tofu in there.
You would like that. If I listen, if you put on a song for me and I'm like, oh, okay, if my mind's not right, if we got fucking shit, I'm like, I'm not jammed out yet. But if my mind's right, honestly, and we go to a concert, if it's fucking bluegrass, if it's goddamn R&B, if it's what's the other one you said, jazz, reggae. If I'm jammed out and chilling,
I'm not a big R&B fan.
Well, you sure?
Okay.
I think you kind of are.
No, hip hop. I like some old.
You look like a hip hop. You look like a hip hop. Those gangsters are making fun of you when you listen to it.
I don't listen to.
They're like, "Thank you for buying my album, but you're not a gangster."
Even when I was like a little bit younger, I never got into like the hip hop like that you hear on the radio and stuff like that.
You never got into metal. You never got into Iron Maiden. You ever go on YouTube and type in Iron Maiden live in Stockholm, Sweden in 2016 or whatever? They are so good. To
answer your question, no.
Well, you should.
Now, I would know the the random person like who's in the back of your math class with the Iron Maiden like T-shirt that was like 10 sizes too small.
Yeah.
And, like,
okay. We talked about no. It's more of a Slipknot. The Slipknot crew. I didn't like
Metallica. I like Metallica a little bit.
All right.
But Black Sabbath and some of those like heavy metal bands, man, never really got into it. It was never for me,
Well, yeah. I mean, if you would have played hockey at a higher level, I guess, Andy, and you're trucking guys.
Is that what they all listen to?
Well, no. I was the only one in the locker room listening to it, to be honest with you. But no, I'm down for anything. I love it, man. Music just kind of like makes your like. If you had a tough day, you jam out, you do your shit. Like that's just like your escape. And I think a lot of people need that right now, man. Especially with the with text messages that we're getting throughout this whole process, dude. So times are tough, Andy, and sometimes you got to fucking either listen to podcasts like ours or jam out the fucking music.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts? Like outside of this one, are you a big podcast guy?
No, I listen to local radio a lot because I do because
why do you do
I
that?
know everybody in the local radio here, and I want to hear what they have to say about fucking college.
Because
no, listen to me.
You like to take their information and use it as your own.
Because here's how it works. I don't know fuck about baseball, fucking college football, any of that shit. College basketball, see a Cam, nothing to do with you. I don't give a. You think my parents are like, let's watch college basketball? Like, nothing. We watch NFL football and hockey growing up, and now you have to do a radio show every goddamn day, Andy. You know how that is. Although you do it one time a week.
No,
I do it
but
five.
I did it 5 days a week.
It's okay. No, you don't do it now. No, you don't do it now.
For about 15 years.
But here's the point. So that's why
when you were like picking your nose in like 8th grade or something.
Well, I still pick my nose. Here's the deal. I listen to those guys because I don't watch college shit all the time. I didn't go to college. I'm not invested in the college atmosphere. I respect Trevor fucking Lawrence. I respect goddamn Alabama. But am I like, oh, this guy's got... I don't give a fuck. So therefore, I got to listen to these cats and be able to tee up my radio partner, Charlie Marlowe, so he... could talk about college basketball and football.
So you're one of those. See, you're one of the media guys who will, listen to your show, use your information as their own.
No. I don't say that I know shit. I ask a question that other people ask questions on when they're getting interviewed. So I tee up Charlie. I'm like,
okay.
Here, I'll give you an example. Hey, Charlie, college football sure is something. Go. And then he does it. That's how you team up.
Okay,
That's a radio professional.
Tune into that
That's
show.
a fucking radio professional.
Don't miss that one.
No shit. Embarrassing.
So, yeah.
Anyway.
No, but people ask the question all the time. Like when people say, I don't know, I just don't listen to a lot of podcasts. Like if you hear someone say that, what's your rebuttal to that?
Listen to ours. Well, what do you like? Like, what are you doing? Well, I don't have time. Well, are you driving? Then put it on your fucking phone. Well, do you cut the grass? Well, put your headphones in. Like, what do you do? Are you
Do you walk the dog?
Are you constantly nonstop in meetings all fucking day? Well, if you are, then I feel bad for you because that sucks. So you don't drive anywhere. You don't do this. You don't have any free time to take your phone and go like this. Press play, doink, and then I'll entertain you for fucking 2 hours.
Could you handle an office job?
Hell, fuck no. I will fucking dig ditches like a motherfucker. I told you I started digging ditches a year ago.
Did you?
Because we had to sell Kate's house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to be tough guy Cam. And I'm going to be, handyman Cam now. And she's like, can you dig a ditch for these flowers? I'm like, oh, Lord, a ditch? But what do you mean by that, Kate? She's like, just put the fucking shovel in the ground and like dig up the dirt. I'm like, oh, okay. And I did it. And it was pretty good. So, yeah. I don't know, what was the question again? Am I handy? No, I'm not.
You're not, I don't think I asked you that.
No, but I'm going to ask you that, and I already know the question
What's
to it.
the question?
Are you handy? No, you're not handy.
No, here's the thing. But when I put my mind to it, I surprise myself. I don't have the patience. I don't have the mental fortitude.
You're on the phone all fucking day.
Well, to like when my kids get these presents on Christmas and it has to be put together. Do you know how mentally straining that is on me?
Oh, it's so horrible.
It is so difficult. The instructions come out and I'm like, okay, I cannot do it.
I need you to be that way though, because I'm already like that, and the reason why we teamed up is because your brain works the opposite way of mine.
But if I get into it and I start doing it, then I'll get in the zone.
AutoZone.
I get in the zone, and then I can complete it, and it feels really good.
Yeah.
Then you feel good, and you're like, wow, I just did that for my kid. I'm a good dad.
Or like I could fix something that I don't have to pay the fucking dude down the road to do.
Oh,
right?
I'll still pay him.
You know. Yeah, I probably will.
You
too.
come over.
Unless he's like 6'4" with long hair.
It's like it's Christmas morning.
It's the worst.
Hey, what are you doing?
Isn't it worse? Like,
can you come over?
Like, you're so fucking irrelevant when it comes to handy shit in your house that your wife has to bring over this fucking 6'4" stud with looks like Trevor Lawrence. He walks in, and then they make fun of me, because I don't know shit, and then they all collaborate. I'm like, no, I don't want this handsome motherfucker here. I need to work on shit, Andy. Does that happen with you?
A little bit.
I bet it does.
A little bit.
I bet it does. You better get that motherfucker out of the house. You better get that hammer and be like,
No,
look, honey, I know what I'm doing.
It's nothing like that.
Yeah, sure.
But I could use someone to come over and do a little outdoor speakers for me, a little surround sound outside.
You need some outdoor TVs because there's gonna be some fucking NHL hockey going on, baby.
But do you watch TV outside? Is that?
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Yeah, with your fireplace going on your outside, you get a big yard, Andy.
Yeah.
What, you sit inside all fucking day? Get your kids outside.
Oh, I make them go outside.
I hope so.
All the time.
I'm gonna come over and evaluate your fucking house.
You should.
I know. I'm not. No, I mean, I got questions for you. I worry about Ty a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you worry about?
Well, he's got sisters.
Well, you can't control that.
No, you can't.
You know, Tom Brady had like 5 sisters or something
fine.
like that.
He's a freak. I'm just saying. He needs to be down with his daddy, shooting pucks, one-timers, listen to heavy metal, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Or no,
he does.
Or does he just hang with the sisters and play Barbies? Like, how does that work?
I got to give a shout out to
How does that
Bryce
work?
Salvador because he hooked me up. We're building this amazing skill room in my basement
That's
right now.
what you do.
So we got a bunch of stuff from X-Hockey products. We'll give them a shout out right now.
But you get my drift on that. Can I ask that question, though?
Yeah.
If you're, and all you guys, and I don't have kids, but this is a question for me. I told you a story about my 2 buddies who dads were shit kickers. I was at their party. The kids come out who are tough, like they're not tough kids, but they're like, so-and-so punched me. And it was like their little sister punched them. And they sat there and they're like, what happened? Help us. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So when they hang out with young girls, with sisters like that, do you have to go out of your way to have daddy time with Ty so he's not this bad to play Barbies and shit like that, but just to be like, here's hockey,
You
right?
can't
How does that work?
You can't force it, and
Yeah.
you can't read too much into that. Like,
Okay.
kids,
At that age, at least?
No.
Okay.
Because, like, I'll give you an example. Like, my 7-year-old just had a birthday, and she got a Barbie cake, and Ty was so angry, and so he refused it. He would not eat it.
Good. That's good.
He wouldn't eat the cake. You know what I'm saying? So
Why?
like,
Because it's Barbie?
yeah, so he wouldn't eat it. So
Oh, he's rebellious
so he
against
brings
them.
out
Oh, okay.
he brings outside his own thing of ice cream. And he's like, here, this is what I want. He wanted something different. But that gets a little bit crazy. See, I don't try to react or go too crazy with that, man. Kids are going to be kids.
Curious.
It's his sisters. I want him to hang out and play with his sisters too and do their thing. But there's times when he wants to do his thing, they do their thing.
So you got to kind of be there, though.
A little bit. Like break it up a little bit. Hey, let's go do this.
Let's go shoot pucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's go for a ride somewhere or something. I got to do an interview, just sit in the car with me or whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe I should have kids. Good fucking
No, I think you're going to have one or two.
Well,
I see you having...
You could dump loads all you want. If it works, it works.
I see you having...
I might be fucked, dude.
I see 4 daughters.
Of all the shit I put in my body, who knows what the fuck.
I see 4 daughters in your future.
Yeah, and they're all going to be psycho like me. Like, I'm running around town like a nutbag.
You better come see me if you want to have a boy.
I'm locking them up.
Give you that heads up.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so all the hockey news came out.
Yeah.
Everybody's like freaking out, going crazy, and it's exciting, man. It's great to have. I mean, I don't know about you, but did you ever think that the NHL wasn't going to come back this year?
I didn't know what the fuck to think. I didn't think they were going to have a bubble, and they did.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like they
But I thought that was less likely, and they pulled it off.
Here's the deal.
Than coming back this season and playing.
Let me give you an example of how this season's going to go for some of these guys. It might be a little exaggeration going on here, but remember when you're like 14 years old in Russia? Not that you did, not that I did, but you're in like CCCP or whatever. You're in the fucking military hockky where like you'll travel, but you can't leave the room. You can't do this. Like that's kind of how it's going to be on a different level.
On the road.
On the road, like you can't even you're going to be there for 16 days at times, man. And like, can you go out? Are you going to be the roommate? Are you like, what the fuck?
It's going to look different though. Like
you have 30 guys going with you.
It's going to look different though. Teams are allowed to sell sponsorships now on
the helmets. Yeah, make $50 million bucks.
So you're going to have like sponsors on the helmets. You're seeing it in the NBA. I think they're able to put sponsors on the jerseys. And
I don't mind that. Who gives a shit?
No, they got to find ways to
make money,
be creative, and make money and generate revenue. So this whole thing is going to be interesting to see what the rosters look like, how many players they're carrying. I mean, we're starting to get all that information and whatever. But in a situation like the Blues, are they able to add a forward? Because they've been talking to a couple of guys. You've got the Eric Hallas who are out there. You've got the Mike Hoffmans, who of course is getting the most attention.
$6 million, man.
And you got the Michael Granlunds. But the Blues are in an interesting situation because they got to sign Vince Dunn, which they're trying to do right now. Alexander Steen is on long-term injury, but he's on what they call off-season long-term injury. But they're going to put Vladimir Tarasenko on in-season long-term injury, which means he has to remain on the roster until the season begins. So he counts towards the cap, and then you take him off and you put him on LTIR. But it's called in-season LTIR. Oh, God. So there's different types of long-term injury. So you can take Steener's salary off now, but you can't take Tarasenko's off until the season begins. So so it gets a little bit crazy from that standpoint. So in terms of signing one of these guys right now, I just don't know if I see it happening immediately. In the case of Granlund, he's still over in Finland. Like, it would maybe help if he came over here, because then he's got to quarantine.
No shit.
It takes time to get the visa process going, all that type of stuff.
I was talking to a bunch of guys. Like, we skated outdoors last night. You missed that, Andy.
I would have loved to go.
Yeah, but you missed it. So all the kids, we skated for 45 minutes with some of the ex-players and shit. We obviously have an unbelievable facility. But then 40 minutes into it, we're like, all the kids go out, and they just took over. Mm-hmm. We hung out in the locker room and did our shit. But I talked to some of the guys, man, and they're like, I get a quarantine when I get there. My family can't come in. We have to report before Christmas. Family can't come in. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Right. Where are we going? Now the young guys suck it up. Now the older guys are like, what am I doing? Whoa. I got 2 years after my contract. What? Where am I at?
I know.
I made a lot of money. What the fuck am I doing?
And they have families. Like,
and the wife's like, where are you going? 16 days in Vegas?
How hard that is to leave your family for Christmas? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is hard to do for these guys.
You know what? It was so funny, man.
And I know they make a lot of money and whatever, and people try to take it out of context. Oh, who cares? They make a lot. No. They're human beings, man.
Totally. And don't feel bad for them in the future, because they're going to be okay, because they're set up. But in the moment, I remember struggling to come back to see my fucking mom and dad and my family so bad. And all of a sudden, I have to you have 2 days, and I'd be in American League or in NHL or whatever the case is, and you're like, I need to get on this flight, and you have to, stop in somewhere, and there's a snowstorm, and you're counting down the hours, because you had 48 hours, now you have 40, now you have 32, and I'm going to see my family for 32. Then you have to, and you're not in the military. Okay, some of my buddies are coming over from but in your own world, in your own realm of things,
it's an inconvenience.
It sucks.
It's an inconvenience.
And then you get home, I don't sleep. I'm like, I don't want to. I want to see everybody so long because I got to
Right.
leave again. I won't see you for another 4 months.
No, it's an inconvenience
Anyway,
for sure.
when you're young, it fucks you up. When you're older with family, it fucks you up. If you're 24 and you're single, suck it the fuck up.
But they're pretty much just excited to go play anyway.
Exactly. Just
you
go
know?
suck it up.
They're excited to go play. What do you think of the divisional format?
I don't
Everyone's
give a
getting
shit.
all worked up. I
I
don't
don't
really
give a
care
fuck.
either.
I don't give a fuck.
Can I just say this though?
Jesus.
Like the West, and I said this to you a few weeks ago on the podcast, and then I was like, wait, am I making sense? Because everyone's thinking, well, wait, I don't know if that's true. But the West division, I think, is an easier division than the Central. I mean, you look at the Central, there's no like big time heavyweights, whatever. You know, I mean, like, you know how I'm talking like Vegas and Colorado and some of these, you know. But they have all these. Everybody can make the playoffs, and only 4 teams from each division are going to make the playoffs. Every division is going to be like an individual league.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be like the CHL, right? Like the Dub, the fucking Q.
You know what it reminds me of? I used to do broadcasting in the old UHL in the United Hockey League, taking the bosses. And Mark Reeds was the coach. Man, it was a great experience.
God rest his soul.
And I absolutely loved doing it. And it was fun, man, but that's how the schedule was. You pretty much played the teams in your division.
I tell you what, that Metro is going to be fucking hard. What are they called? Or is there a division? Like, what are they called? North, Central, Metro?
The North.
How about Boston?
West, Central, and East.
I would love to be in that division, right? Like you're not traveling much. Now, whenever Montreal has to go out to Vancouver all the goddamn time, that's a tough one, dude.
I know.
And those guys, especially up in Canada, man, they're going to be really restricted.
So in the Central, you still have
restricted.
You still have Tampa Bay. You know, I mean, but outside of them, I don't see any real like true heavyweights. So if the option for some teams were to either be in the Central or the West,
I'd be in the Central.
I would take the West, man.
I'd take the Central.
Why?
Less travel.
Well, see, but here's the deal. Everyone looks at it like, oh, the Blues are going to have so much
for a
travel.
long time.
No, because here's the deal. It's like Doug Armstrong touched on this. Yeah, but the first trip may be hard because you fly out to Anaheim. It's a long trip. But then from there, you're going to L.A., you're going to San Jose, maybe you're going to Arizona, whatever. From what I understand, the Blues are going to start on the road on the 13th. They'll play like 2 games against one team, 2 games against another team. So you're pretty much gone for 4 games. So maybe some trips are a little bit longer. Then you come home for 4
games is 8 days at least.
I know.
10 days.
I know. Then you come home, you play your 4 games. And then you go back on the road for your 4 games. So I think the Blues home opener is going to be the 18th.
Okay.
So
it's going to be tough, man. And here's the...
And you know what, fans? Listen, all these teams have been preparing to have fans. They know the likelihood of that happening right off the bat is probably slim, although some teams are going to be able to have it, some teams won't. But they've all prepared for it, in terms of what precautions you need to do or you have to take to make it safe and clean and all that type of stuff. And and working with the local health authorities.
Do you got to do.
But I think some teams are just looking at it like, hey, if we can get fans in the building around February 1st.
Please.
We'll be okay. And obviously it's not going to be a packed house.
No, but
and it probably won't even be half filled capacity. But if you can even get 2,500 fans to start off with at the beginning of February and take baby steps. When
people want to spend money, man.
Some teams are already going to be able to do that.
I know. If you we always talk about this. If you put a poll out right now, like you'd pack Scott or Enterprise Center in 2 seconds, and people would spend money.
Yeah.
And people, even when they're struggling, they still. In the U.S., they spend money, man. They spend money on entertainment.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need to have entertainment to be fucking healthy with your family, with your kids. Like, you got to spend the money to fucking do shit.
Right.
And they're willing to do that with their sports teams and, enjoying their shit. And it's, so I just think, honestly, everything's going to blow up. It's going to be like a fucking bomb when everything opens up and everybody's going to be like, let's go. Although people are struggling, and we all see that. We got other big news coming up here we're not going to get into just yet, but we're going to be helping out a lot of restaurants coming up here. But the point is, once everything gets normal, people, at least in the United States, I know that for a fact, they're going to be like, let's fucking go.
And don't be surprised, getting back to Hoffman and Granlund and some of these guys, because now teams, where they're at, they're kind of like, listen, man, we don't know the future of the league in terms of revenue and all that. We may only be in position to give them a 1-year deal. So think about competitive teams, because if you're going to go sign a 1-year contract, you're going to want to go with a team where you can put up points, play with good players, have a chance to win. So like teams like Boston are kind of in the mix with some of these guys. Like there's some other teams
How's their
too.
cap room, man?
They have some guys that are hurt.
Yeah.
How's
Vegas doing cap room?
I don't know.
Fucking struggling.
They could use a center.
Yeah, they could.
They could use a center. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like Vegas at some point
It's going to collapse.
It's going to come back to earth, man. You just can't be great every year.
No, you can't, especially the money you're fucking throwing around, then getting rid of people,
and then
doing this.
And then when you start just like adding guys left and right.
They tried to win right off the bat.
They're trying to be the New York Yankees.
They're trying to win right off the bat and just establish that winning mantra, and that lasts for, if you win the cup in your first couple of years like Vegas, if they did, like that's just gonna fucking excel for 6-7 years. You won, you're established, like you're good for years. But if you don't, and you're not entertaining,
right,
which they will be, but if you're not, then things will go down in a different way.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but you know,
they're
what
in
I'm
a weird
saying?
spot.
Just trying to add the highest price free agent or the best player available, it doesn't always work, you know. And then all of a sudden you're stuck with all these contracts, you know. So I don't know. That'll be interesting. I got to ask you this question though before we get into who our guest is and some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So the NFL yesterday, they had this broadcast. It was the Cardinals and the Eagles, and I told you about this a little bit, but it's like they had a color commentator, and I'm like, who is
fucking
this
robot?
guy? Who is no?
Oh no!
I was like, who is this guy? I'm like, who are we listening to? I had to like search it online to find out who the hell it was, and it was Aqib Talib, who was an awesome player, man.
Awesome.
He was awesome, dude. He was everything but conventional. And a lot of people are like flipping out on.
Sit down.
And like I don't know like what it is, you know. It's like
who are the three biggest boys in the league? No, I'm stopping you.
Hold on, let me just finish real quick.
Go ahead.
He brought such a different type of color commentating, you know. And Tony Romo's done that too, and now he's making a shit ton of money, something like 18 million a year. Yeah. But he's a little more polished a little bit.
And he's Tony Romo.
And he sounds like a broadcaster, and he's working with Jim Nantz, who's teeing him up.
Dynamic.
So it's just it is, man. But this guy did the exact same thing. He was like telling you what was going to happen. And this is kind of like, I'm sitting back, I'm like, this is what I want to hear from it. I want these guys who are fresh out of the game, who are so smart, and in probably a half a quarter or a full quarter of football, he probably said more interesting things than most of these other color analysts have said throughout their entire career.
Who are the three big boys going on right now?
You tell me.
Howard Stern still. Okay, whether you like him or not, he's still fucking
he's
on.
Best.
He's just signed for $125 million a year. So all you
George
fucking
Clooney
sit down.
On. Great conversation.
Whatever. He's soft now, and he's fucking politically correct a little bit too
Who
much.
is?
Howard is now.
In what way?
Oh my! And go. Let me tell you. Go to Howard TV in 1997 and have him interview fucking Snoop Dogg.
No, you're right.
And see what he says to him. Not that that's okay, but I'm just saying, he's fucking
you
changed.
You said he's adjusted.
Oh my God! But on the other hand, he's probably adjusted a little too much because, and that's fine. But I like crazy shit. Okay, not that I need to be that way, but you have to adjust.
You can be crazy. You don't want to be offensive, right?
Exactly. I don't want to piss people off.
Right. Have
Andy.
people hate.
We don't
you.
want people to hate us. Like no, we want to be funny, and you know, being somewhat knowledgeable, I guess. But the three big boys: Howard Stern, Joe fucking Rogan, and fucking El Presidente. They're all unbelievably successful. And what's the common denominator? They do whatever the fuck
Uncensored,
they want.
Man.
Uncensored. This is my shit.
They own their own platform, basically.
That's exactly right. You think anybody, when you listen to Howard and all his fucking program directors and his bosses, he runs their fucking show. He will bang on their door in the middle of the guy. Well, he used to do this and bang on their door and they call him out because he's pissed at because he didn't have a paper ready. Like you own everything. That's where it's going, man. So this kid that you're talking about, this dude that just retired, like I want that. Why the fuck am I listening to some buttoned up fucking robot?
Right.
Give me something.
Give me
dude.
something that's
give me something
authentic.
because you played because look, you could still be crazy and knowledgeable. Like you played the game, you did it, but you're a little psycho. I like that.
Yeah. But you're also funny. You're funny. You have charisma,
and you're not like defending or defensive.
And you really don't give a shit.
You don't. But you care about people.
You
still.
care.
Yeah, exactly.
And you want the job.
It's a balance.
That's
Andy.
why you're doing it. But at the same time,
balance.
you have so much confidence in what you're doing. You just go out there. You just do your thing.
Self-deprecating. Don't fucking offend people like crazy.
But
if you offend a $30 million guy, I don't give a motherfucker.
But it makes you wonder, like how much some of these color analysts who have been doing it for so long. And we're talking football, whatever. But
some robots.
But it exists in all sports.
In all sports.
How much do they really know?
Or like,
how much do they really know? When you all of a sudden you hear these guys that just come fresh out of the game who are just like breaking it down, and they're telling you exactly what's going to happen.
And these old school cats,
old school cats, like they're just like getting by being polished and whatever, and making a shit ton of money. Man, I want some of the fresh blood coming in.
I don't care about polish. Obviously.
Yeah, Tony Romo's opened the door for a lot of these people.
Totally, dude. But now the guys that with the big personalities that you still know you figured it out. You know the game. Can you Can you deliver your knowledge in a way where you could tie everything together? That's the game. That's where you need to be brilliant.
But I think you have to have a real skilled partner who can help you along. That's where Jim Nance comes in. Yeah. He's just so good. He knows Tony Romo's strengths and weaknesses, man, and he just carries him. You know what I mean? So it's good shit.
Entertain me. That's all that matters, baby.
We've got our hats still available on the camandstrick.com website, so check those out. You know what's fun, man? We've been sending these out. We've gotten orders from Hawaii, South Carolina,
all over the damn place,
Florida, California, Washington State, Minnesota, Illinois, man, all over the place. You know, and so we love it, man.
Makes you feel good, man.
We love all the listeners, man. We want everybody to have a happy holiday. And enjoy yourself, man. Just kick back and relax. Kick your feet up. What's a good holiday cocktail on Friday? What should they be drinking?
Well, I mean, fucking Bloody Marys are great, and then all of a sudden you could tie in Bud Light seltzer with some shit, dude. How about this? Get up. The house needs to be clean. Okay, like you can't have your house needs to be fucking clean for you to relax. In my opinion, this is me.
I'm with you, man.
I want my fucking.
I get anxiety if it's not clean.
Oh, so do I. I'll get up for Kate. Kate will sleep till the cows come home. She works her ass off. I get up like a motherfucking military son of a bitch. Although I'm not military. I love you guys. I'm a loser. You're not. Here's the point. I get up and I'll make a fire for Kate. I'll clean the ashes out. I'll kind of get everything. I'll get the doggy and the kitty in the right spot. I'll put the candles on, and she'll get up and like I'll bacon going on, all the Christmas decorations going, and then we chill and watch fucking Smithsonian Channel, Aerial America. We'll watch some fucking BBC network where they're looking through castles that somebody's gonna buy a castle in Scotland. Like we just chill, have a fucking Bloody Mary, Bud Light seltzer, chilling. That's what you do. The house needs to be goddamn clean. Christmas decorations need to be up. Put your goddamn fire on and kick your feet up and relax.
Yeah.
And don't think about negative shit. Hang out with your goddamn family. And then tomorrow deal with the bullshit. I'm serious.
Put all the negativity aside.
Fucking, you have to. Man, I get text messages from people all the time. We keep our DMs open, Andy, and you have to find a way to fucking relax. And if you and your wife right now are going through, sit her down and talk and be like, let's fucking, tonight, fuck this. We're chilling. We're fucking doing this. I'm making a fire.
Yeah, so whatever it is that's creating that tension and that divide, man, just put it aside.
You have to.
Put it aside.
I know it's tough to do, but you have to find a way or you'll be motherfucking miserable. You have to set it up.
Was Christmas a big deal for you as a kid?
Oh, fuck yes. Hell yeah. My mom and dad were so good with that shit.
Were they?
Oh, God. We'd have a Santa come. I had a big family because we had cousins, and we'd go, and my Nana had a big yard, and we'd run around like, fuck. You know what I did? I'll tell you this. I had older cousins, and they were handsome and tall and witty and funny. And a couple of them are actors in California. They do commercials and shit like that, which is very difficult to do.
Really?
But they were so funny. And I was a younger kid, and I'm like, and they were so intimidating. But they'd go in front of all the adults. To get their Christmas present, you'd have to put on a show. We're not giving you a Christmas. No. All the family, you have to earn it. So you have to do so. So my cousins were so fucking funny. They'd go up there, and I'd look up to them so much, and they'd put on a show and be fun, and everybody would laugh. And then I'd go up there, and I'd just be like, yeah. And everybody would be like, okay. It was so intimidating, but you learn from that. You learn, and you just learn how to be funny and like creative and shit like that because my cousins were so like cool looking. I looked up to them, man.
Yeah.
And I had to get that fucking present.
Yeah.
So I'd act like I'm scoring a goal or beating somebody up.
All right, good tradition there, Cam.
I know, man.
Put on a show.
Yeah.
Put on a show. All right.
Do something for me. Sing a song. What do you got? What do you got? You don't just get the present.
No.
Do something.
You got to do something.
Let's go.
All right, Bill Clement, man. He does something.
Fuck.
This guy,
handsome bugger.
Bill Clement reminds me, you know Bob Saget, the guy from Full House?
Yeah.
Who's like the clean-cut American dad on television. Then all of a sudden, like, he does stand-up, and he's, like, just dropping, like, one curse word after another. He's dirty as shit. Bill Clement kind of has some of that in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like the all-American broadcaster. He's got the beautiful mustache. He's doing commercials with his shirt off for, like, bug spray.
It's my dream job.
And then all of a sudden, like, he's doing the broadcast where he's, like, so buttoned up and so good, really good, just a great talker. And then he comes on the podcast, and he just kind of showcases, like, a different personality. Like, are you Bob Saget? Like, what is going on?
What are you?
I know. So back in the day, people used to always, like, speculate that he and Gary Thorne, who were, like one of the best play-by-play tandems.
No shit.
in recent memory for hockey. Like a whole generation of kids during the ESPN hockey era, they grew up listening to those guys and watching those guys, And Gary Thorne was like just a fucking awesome play-by-play announcer.
Yeah.
But people used to always say that they didn't get along, that he and Bill Clement didn't see eye to eye and they didn't talk. So we had to ask Billy, is that true? He tells a great story, kind of talks about their relationship and that dynamic. So people are going to find that pretty fascinating.
Dude, he's awesome. Just very well spoken. Everything is processed whenever he answers a question.
Yeah.
I wish I was like that.
And he went through some downtimes.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
He lost money. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't always great. It wasn't always great.
He didn't make any money off the bat. Even if you win 2 cups, you're not you're not sitting in San Jose
exactly.
Or,
looking
over the ocean.
But he did win a couple cups too, right? So he's got an interesting playing career.
But but that sets you up for your second career. Mm-hmm. So you have to. I have this, but now I have to show people that I'm a great speaker and I can break down games.
Oh my God, he's like a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
This guy made so much more money as a broadcaster than he did as a player.
Oh my God,
it's crazy.
And he's living. Listen, guys, look up fucking
in the mountains.
Look up North. I would live in North Carolina,
Blue
and
Ridge
South
Mountains,
Carolina.
man.
The Blue Ridge Mountain in Asheville, North Carolina.
He's like 35 minutes outside of Asheville.
He's right by the Biltmore, where the Vanderbilts
that's
built
in
that.
Asheville. So
I know
he's probably
it's
a half hour, 40 minutes away from there.
Dude, he's on the other fucking climb over the mountains, and he's on the other side of the valley.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful,
dude.
So gorgeous.
We went
the
to
Biltmore.
the
Check that mug out,
to
dudes.
the Biltmore. So the Biltmore has all these different
Sick.
rooms, and they've got furniture and stuff that's been there since the 1800s. Okay,
more than dude. They bought shit from the fucking ancient times.
Well,
homeboy. That was the Vanderbilts.
So everything's roped off, right? So you can't go inside where they have.
What'd you do?
So
What'd Ty do?
Ty runs in there, okay? And we're like, Ty, come here, hurry. Everybody's like, oh my God.
Get a leash for him.
Look at that kid. Security is on the walkie-talkie. So I start one leg is going over the rope, I'm jumping over the boards. I get grabbed. Security's like, no, you can't go in there. I'm like, well, my kid's in there.
The Leonardo da Vinci fucking painting.
Exactly. He's writing on the scroll, the original
Jesus
scroll. And so they're like, security, and they're all running. And I'm just like, is this that serious?
Yes,
it is.
It is. That happened the other day
so my wife
in Italy.
had to get a lollipop out. And once the lollipop came out, then he comes running all the way back. People are looking at us like we're crazy. I'm like, I'm getting out of here, and I'm not coming back in.
You talk about scrolls. I did this at Kate 6 years ago when I was going through hell.
Were you in the castle?
I was in Albany. I was losing my fucking hair. I was injured. I was getting suspended. I was getting piss tested 3 times a fucking week at 5 o'clock in the morning like a fucking asshole. It was horrible. So Christmas comes around. I had to get Kate something cute. Mm-hmm. So I took this paper, this like construction paper.
Is that what's on your wall right now?
Listen to me. No. Fuck no. That we bought that goddamn thing. Think I make that fucking thing? So I take this construction paper, I cut it up, I roll it up, I tie it up like a scroll, and I write her a love note like I would talk in the 1500s. Mm-hmm. And I sat there for 3 hours and I wrote her that. And all the gifts I gave her that year, she didn't give a fuck. She looked at that scroll, and it's always by her bed every single day. Little things like that, Andy. I'm a fuck up. I fucked up a lot of times. Kate stuck by me. So sometimes you got to fucking get a scroll out, baby, and write her a fucking love note.
You got to think outside the box.
And when you're a fuck up, that's what you do.
And you bring it from the heart.
Yeah, baby.
So that's why you were losing
your hair. She lives
a
good life, let's be honest.
So you were losing your hair because you were stressed?
Oh, I was staring at myself in the mirror, and I could see my fucking hair fall
Let me
out.
ask you this.
It's horrible.
So if you didn't go through that, do you think you have a full head of hair right now?
No,
or is it just automatic?
No, I think it's in my genetics. My brother's bald.
Is he?
My dad looks great right now.
Does he have a full head of hair?
My dad looks good. He does. I know he's kind of going through tough times, but not tough times as far as just health wise. He's just been through tough times, but his hair looks good.
Did he get the stitches come out yet? Or
yeah,
no?
He looks fucking badass. Dude, he's got a badass scar. Yeah, it looks awesome. Although I didn't like to see that. But on the other hand, I would stare at myself so stressed out. Mm-hmm. I knew I didn't have enough money saved up. I knew my career was ending. I was injured. I was going through weird emotional roller coaster with the fucking medicine I was on to get off of painkillers. And I'm getting piss tested like a motherfucker at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and drink a gallon of water just to piss normal piss so I could smoke weed the night before.
Right. Okay.
And everybody's like, you smoke weed? Well, I needed that, man. It calmed me down. It is what it is. But I wrote her a scroll, and she loves me. But I still lost my hair. But I got a sponsor. It's called Hounds Lyman.
All right, good. All right.
Anyway.
The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. And CarShield.com. Hook it up in time for the holidays. You still have a few days to get there, and they'll get it to you. They'll get you signed up, all buttoned up right away. 800-857-2481. Again, carshield.com. Mention the promo code CAM. You're going to save 10%. I know it's embarrassing. I know it's hard.
It's kind of sexy. You might get laid that night.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. But you never know when shit's going to go down with your car. Computer goes out. The engine goes out. A starter could go out.
Fucking
you never know. We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. Not if you have the protection that you deserve. Not that you need, but that you deserve.
Deserve it.
With CarShield and carshield.com. Again, write down this number, 800-857-2481, carshield.com online. Check that out today. All right, Bud Light Seltzer. There is no better Christmas party than when you have Bud Light Seltzer.
You look classy, okay?
As the main attraction. What's the first thing you want people to see when they walk in?
Seltzer.
Seltzer? Is that what it is?
Or mango.
Do you just open the door with it?
I go, this is what we're all about. I have it all plastered everywhere with the castle pictures, of course. But you got the fucking mango. You got the strawberry. You got all that shit. And then they got the new Christmas stuff.
Oh, the ugly Christmas sweater packs and the variety pack.
If you want to get crerotive, like I'm starting to get creative with like cooking and shit like that, but like with mixing drinks, like
you
fucking
use
people
the
love
mango in your cooking, or
no, not with the cooking.
Okay.
With it, God damn you with this. You're so dumb with that. Well, don't ever cook me anything. You don't know shit.
People base stuff with beer and stuff like that.
Man, pork chops and shit, but not
cheese.
You said turkey. I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? Anywho, but you can mix drinks with this shit. And you could make cool, creative cocktail drinks. They got all kinds of like different Christmas types of beer, and you can mix and match and like just be creative. So when you entertain people, like I can't wait to do with my new house, I'm gonna get creative, Andy. And then people will be like, I don't like this one. Then you figure out and you make another one. Yeah, dude. So there's so much to do.
Use the creativity.
Yeah.
Black cherry, lemon, lime, strawberry, and mango.
All good.
Get the flavors.
Mango.
Check it out. BudLight.com, unquestionably good. Again, less than a gram of sugar, under 100 calories. Man, it's not going to make you feel bad.
No bloated. You can take your shirt off in front of the holiday crew,
you
okay?
can drink it all day long.
It's 25
man.
degrees out. Take
put
your shirt off.
Put a little cranberry juice, mix that with it, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now you're getting there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You can put cranberry juice on your fucking turkey?
Well, you create the punch. You know, the holiday punch?
Yes.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, you spike it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay? That's how you do it.
Not roofie, spike.
Right. And we keep it handsome.
Oh, God.
Got some more messages today on Instagram, people showing off their hoodies, man, their Fight Ugly hoodies. One guy was saying the other day how he was having a real hard time. You read that one? Going through some tough times, having a real hard day. Then he comes home, and the package is there.
Oh, yeah.
It's like being a little kid. You get the little plastic, road hockey, Wayne Gretzky, like goal and stick. Like, that feeling stays with you forever.
Sometimes you need to be put in a good mood, man.
That feeling never leaves you. Same situation with this. Man. When you get home and you get that Fight Ugly hoodie, man. We're keeping it handsome with Fight Ugly. KeepItHandsome.com. Check it out. Get the hair products.
Yeah.
Make sure you look good. Make sure you smell good. Make sure your partner stays attracted to you. Use the shampoo. Use the conditioners. They've got the gels, Cam. They've got the sculpting paste. They've got the foaming creams. And they've got the beard moisturizer, which I use every single morning.
Yeah, with that fat-ass beard you got
It's
going.
amazing. No, but you can use it even without a beard.
But you know what, though? You brought up a good point real quick. You want to be handsome in front of your significant other. And I hate when people are like, my bro doesn't care. I'll get fat. She fucking loves me. Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much fucking money are you making? Because you better be making a fuck ton if you're going to be a sloppy motherfucker. You think your fucking girl wants you to be sloppy? You're out of your fucking mind. You better get your shit on because she looks good. You don't make that much money, bruh.
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
And the money's not everything, but I'm just like, you got to balance it a little bit here, bruh.
All right, the Fight Ugly, though. What exactly is that? You hear Fight Ugly.
Well, you fight the ugly, man, and you keep it handsome afterwards, meaning like you don't beat up anybody, I should say, but you stick up for yourself against the bullies, and then you figure out who the bullies are and why they are a bully, and if it is because their fucking parents are fucked up or whatever the case is, but you fight the ugly and you keep it handsome afterwards, just like a hockey fight where you fucking go toe-to-toe, baby, like it's ugly. Then afterwards you give each other a hug like, I love you, buddy, right. And we'll go have some beers afterwards. That's how you do it.
All right, portion of the proceeds go back to the Montreal Resource Center, too, so you're supporting a good cause. Again, we're fighting the ugliness that is bullying. We're all about anti-bullying here on the Cam and Strick Podcast.
Damn right.
We're also about good customer service that you can find at Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Check it out of Troy, Missouri. The Cadillac, the Buick GMC. Cam's looking at that Cadillac, the Buick Enclave.
I'll look good in anything.
Pearl white, captain seats. You're looking at that, which is all good. Just go across the street, and you can find the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, man. They have so much selection. Again, the GMCs, the Yukons, man. The 2021 Yukons are absolutely
badass.
sick.
They're sick, tough looking, dude.
The Escalades there, and of course the new Jeeps and the Dodges. Everything, man, that you can find over there from our boy Bellman. And Bellman.com. Check it out of Troy, Missouri. Again, happy holidays to each and every one of our sponsors.
Love you guys.
Too, man.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Kwanzaa, is that something different?
Oh, absolutely.
What else is there?
We celebrate everything.
If you don't believe in any of that, I don't give a shit. Relax, guys. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you believe in. Like, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't even bother me.
Do you believe?
In what? Heaven? I don't know. Yeah.
Heaven?
Yeah, because I wanted to be a rock star. I told you, my heaven is me being a lead singer of fucking metal and having just all girls as fans, and you're out there doing your thing. When that is that
I was
not
thinking
heaven?
more like Santa Claus and like all that.
Oh,
you know.
I mean, I'm fucking 38 years old. No, 36 years old. I think I knew that. I didn't know. I knew Santa Claus wasn't real when I was like 3.
You did?
Yeah, dude. I have two. I have all men in my like. We didn't have like.
So how do people?
Little sisters like.
How should people handle that question with their kids? Do you have any?
Well, when they're like 6 and 7, you're like, fuck. Like, okay, like you're getting old. 6 and 7, is that the right age, or is it 7 and 8? Maybe?
It could be 7 and 8.
Like I'd tell Ty, like if Ty's like fucking got sick hair, he's going to school, he's a little bit of a wheel, he's got his one timer in fucking place. And he still believes in Santa? No, tell him like, no, like, I'm your Santa. Listen to me. Daddy equals Santa. You listen to me. That's it. He's fucking getting big. He's got sick flow, man.
No,
he doesn't need to believe in Santa.
He is getting big. He is getting big. All right, you know who else is big? Bill Clement. He wants to get back in the game, too. So anybody out there hiring a broadcaster?
I thought we were hiring him for the podcast.
We may hire him. We may
hire everybody.
We may hire him. Bill Clement, the newest member of the Cam and Strick Podcast, on now. Episode 101.
Hello.
Hi, Billy. Hi.
How's that cell service on top of the mountain?
Where's he at? North Carolina?
He's in North Carolina.
Where you at, Billy?
Oh, it's fantastic. But I'm only halfway up the mountain, so I only have half of the cell service I should have.
Are you by the Biltmore, where the Vanderbilts built that thing where they had to bring a rail car in and bring all this stuff coming in? Are you by the Biltmore mansion?
Actually, we adjoin the Biltmore mansion. We use their bathrooms most of the time. So it really is convenient to be that close to. No, we're about 30. I guess we're 35 minutes from the Biltmore.
I know, man.
So
and that's
beautiful.
the way to go. Just use their bathrooms, whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a veteran move, Billy. You know exactly how to handle that. Now, I love going to Asheville, North Carolina, a little vacation time. My wife absolutely loves it. The kids do. So you pick the right spot. Listen, I know you're like in the Pennsylvania area, but how did you pick there to kind of be your chill zone?
You know what? This is full time now, so we're here. I've always wanted to own a home that had a fantastic view. I wanted a slower pace. We still wanted 4 seasons. You know, we love the fall, love the spring, summer, winter, that whole thing. And the friends of ours said, why don't you come to Asheville with us? We're going to start looking around because I think we're going to retire there. So we tagged along, ended up making 6 or 8 subsequent trips to find out exactly what town we wanted to be nearby. And it's worked out. Just people say, is it great? I said, no, it's better than great. People are friendly. Cost of living is low. The weather is gorgeous. It's everything that we wanted. So I don't have to climb onto an interstate that is clogged to the max and pull my own, whatever I have left of hair to pull that out. It's really a cool lifestyle here.
Hey, just don't pull out your mustache, Bill. Okay?
No.
You can pull your hair out. You can't pull out the mustache.
Andy, who's he kidding? People say that when they have a long flock of hair and they have gorgeous hair, they say they'll pull it out. So you do. So who are you kidding?
Well, I will let you know, though, Cam, the stash will be the last thing to go. It's not going to go.
So how long have you had the stash, though? Do you just look in the mirror, Billy, and you just kind of brush your mustache and be like, how much money has this mustache made me over the years?
Probably about $1,500 per hair, I guess.
What a dumb question.
Yeah. I've never really placed a value on it, but it was always as I been getting older. I shaved it a couple times, but not for very long. And this was like a male ego really struggling with itself. People told me right away, you look younger. And at the same time, they said, but you look better with the mustache. So so there's your ego going, okay, well, what am I going to pick? Younger or better? Mm-hmm. Younger or better?
Better.
I didn't care one way or the other. I grew it back.
Yeah, you did. And Andy's just pissed because he can't grow a mustache. But I do want to explain like your setup though. Are you in the hills? Are you looking down over a valley? Is there a creek going through? Like I'm trying to picture Asheville, North Carolina, and of course you think of the Biltmore and just like that valley. Like this. Explain your setup.
Mountains, man.
Yeah, is there bears
the
and
beautiful
stuff?
Weather.
Yeah,
lots of bears out there, aren't there, Billy?
Explain it.
Black bears, rattlesnakes, and coyotes, and a lot of wild turkeys and deer everywhere. But it's a gated community, but the lots, and it's they haven't sold all of the lots, but it's been here for 20 years, and the lots are 3 acres big. So yeah, we're looking down on a valley. We're also looking across at the peak of a mountain range, and we can actually see the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is one of the most beautiful drives anybody could ever imagine taking. So yeah, we look across to another mountaintops, and we can also look down into the valley. And it's great. It's a gated community. So, and the neighbors are fantastic. When it rains, like there's a branch is like a ravine that comes off a mountain. There's one right beside our driveway, and it just gushes like waterfall when it rains. So we love leaving our windows open and listening to that. Look, I'm happiest when I got my chainsaw in my hands, and I've been doing that the last few days. So I've been living large. I'm really a nature lover and a guy that grew up in the bush, cutting down, big trees for pulpwood and stuff like that. So I'm right at home here.
Listen,
he's a magazine cover.
We've had Scotty Stevens on who was chopping wood. We just had Joey Koser on. I'm pretty sure he was using his bare hands to split wood. I don't know if he needed the chainsaw or not. But what is it with all you guys chopping wood? God. Is that what you did in Canada back in the day?
So badasses do, Andy.
Yeah, no. My dad didn't have much money, but he was able to acquire almost 600 acres of wooded land, and to earn extra money for the family. Yeah, we'd go up there with the chainsaws and this old power wagon. And of course, when I was 12, we didn't have a winch or anything to pull the big trees out of the woods. So my dad bought this big mare, this Belgian horse, and I was 11, 12, and he made me drive the horse, like standing beside it, with the reins, come on, get up, trying to pull these like 1,000-pound logs up hills. I don't know how I still have any feet, because the horse would step on my feet, and I thought they were broken about 100 times. Finally, we got mechanized, and he got a power wagon. But that's how we made extra money for the family, was cutting down trees.
God, that just makes you so old school and just rugged. So now, do you have horses now, and do you and the wife go out and just get on the horse and say, well, you know what, we're going to pack a picnic. We're going to find that beautiful little spot, and we're going to look over the valley, look over the river and things like that. And do you take the horses out? Like, what do you guys do for fun? I know, nerdy.
That's how I kind of got rid of my ex-wife like that. I put her up on the horse. She thought I was going to climb up with her, and I just hit the horse in the ass and said, yeah, get out of here. And the horse never came back, and neither did she. No. We don't have horses. There's a field beside us, and it's really steep, all right, because we're on a real steep mountain. But there's a guy that boards a herd of cows over there, about 15 of them. They're Angus cows, and there's a mule in there with them. And I asked the guy one day, I said, well, what's the idea of having a mule with the cows? And he said, the mules are really protective of the calves, and coyotes will come and take the odd calf. But when the mule is there, the mule will fiercely defend the herd, which I thought was pretty cool.
You know what? Cool. Listen, you look at your career, Billy, unbelievable career, all the Olympics, the Stanley Cup Finals. You won 2 Stanley Cups as a player, being the voice on the EA Sports NHL video game. But I'm curious, is doing the off bug spray commercial with your shirt off, is that your greatest achievement, Billy, of your broadcasting career?
I love it.
We filled this tent with 30,000 hungry mosquitoes and biting flies, but they're not biting me. I'm using Deep Woods Off. Repels extra tough mosquitoes and biting flies.
Look, you still know it. You're a natural, Billy.
Well, here's why I know it. Okay. The first, like I shot that twice. I shot it in the late 80s, and then they brought it back when I was, I think, 53 or 54, 55, like about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. But the first time they shot it, I was working for ESPN, and I landed the job. It was a top audition in New York. I wasn't able to make any of the callbacks. Like, you go for the first audition, then they narrow it down to 12 or 15, then they'll narrow it down to 3 or 4. And I had Flyers Rangers that I was doing for ESPN, so I couldn't make any of the callbacks. Well, lo and behold, I get the job anyway. It turns out there was a real struggle behind the scenes because the director didn't want me, and the lady from Johnson & Johnson wanted me, and the lady from the ad agency wanted me. So the only time they were going to shoot it was on a Wednesday night in the Everglades of Florida. Well, I had a Tuesday night game for ESPN in New York, and I had a Thursday night game in Philly, same series, Flyers Rangers. So there I was flying down to the Everglades in the morning of the Wednesday, and we had to wait till at night till the sun went down to shoot it. And we started shooting it, and we had to do 32 takes because there were guys with little threads attached to the cheesecloth doors of the tent. And as the camera tracked up to the tent, they were supposed to open these in sequence and in unison, and they couldn't get the damn thing right. So we did 32 takes. That's why I remember it. I had to know, I had to be off book, right? I had to have it memorized. Then we did 32 takes. So, and I got bit twice.
Oh my God.
Dude, you're in the Everglades?
Yeah.
And that's like the hillbilly Wild West now. Like it kind of is in Florida. You have alligators cruising around, golf courses. You have anacondas now. It's crazy down there. Like, were you a little bit scared? Like, what's going to crawl up next to me?
I was more with the sound of the bugs in the tent when I stepped into the tent freaked me out. I was kind of confident that an anaconda wasn't going to come slithering into the tent, but just being there all I had on was a pair of shorts, right? And a pair of boots. I didn't have a shirt on. I didn't have any, my legs weren't covered either. But the sound of the creatures, man, the insects, it freaked me out for a few seconds. But other than that, it was okay. Did you guys see the video? They had it on Good Morning America, their play of the day. A guy whose golf ball got hit right by the alligator's tail.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He smacked him.
And I think another guy got like a puppy out of an alligator's mouth recently.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I know, man. These guys are crazy. They'll do anything. I mean, when you live down there, you see them all the time. I mean, you're just like, you know what, I'm going in.
Yeah, but you know the old joke about I don't have to outrun the alligator. But like a good friend of mine, we vacationed for years with this other couple, and he was older than I was, and we were down in Hilton Head, and there was a gator that we shouldn't have fed the gator, but we kind of enticed it up on the shore and everything. And a woman came out next door, and she just started screaming at us because her little Fluffy got eaten by a gator the year before, and we're not supposed to feed them. So the next day, the gator was around the bay, and I said to my buddy Tom, let's go and get a couple of shots, pictures of it up close. So we get closer. We get about, 10, 15 feet. And Tom says, we got to be careful. Those things can really run. And actually, he goes, he never heard the line, right? I said, it's okay. I don't have to outrun the gator. And it took him about 3 seconds, and he took off running with full speed and get back into the house. Our wives never spoke to us for 2 days, by the way.
I feel so bad for
little
Fluffy.
Fluffy got killed, though.
Yes.
Billy boy, because of you, I think. And you need like an apology tour, I think.
We should pour our drinks out. We should pour our drinks out right now for Fluffy.
How scary is that?
Don't forget about Fluffy. Okay, so was it Johnson & Johnson's idea?
Yeah. If they say something, you do it.
Was it the director's idea for you not to have your shirt on? And then who sets up these auditions for you? Like, did you have a talent agent? Like, were you looking to do stuff outside of hockey? Like, how did this even come about?
Oh, man. So when I retired, I acquired the rights for a Canadian restaurant franchise, Grandma Lee's Bakery and Deli, that was expanding to the U.S. And I bought the rights for Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. And it took me over a year to even find a decent location. I opened up the pilot store, and it didn't make it. So at age 33, 34, I filed corporate and personal bankruptcy and thought I lost my home. My marriage fell apart. I was broke. I was depressed. I was scared. I had no college degree. I had no job. I had no training. So the question became, what the hell am I going to do now? And I had actually gone on a couple of auditions while I was looking for I had a teammate named Kurt Bennett, the Bennett brothers played. There were 4 brothers that played in the NHL: Harvey, Billy, Kurt, big guys from Rhode Island. And Kurt's wife was a professional singer and actress, and she got me a go-see with a couple of agents in Atlanta, and I actually landed a couple of commercials. Well, an interesting little side note was that Susan Bennett is the voice of Siri and has been for years. And I only found that out a few years ago. So anyway, I had nothing, right? I said, what the hell am I going to do now? So I enrolled in every acting class I could get at the Alliance Theater School in Atlanta, where I was living, and started to get pretty good at it. I became a full-time actor immediately. So I met my wife. I remarried. We were paired up to read as husband and wife on an acting audition for an Independence Blue Cross Blue Shield national commercial. And we asked a couple of agents one day, you think we're good enough to compete in New York? And they said, yeah, we do. So we just left everything. We pulled up stakes, moved to New York, and started working. And yeah, I had a number of different agents that represented me and my wife in New York. So the acting thing was a real career. The phone rang one day, and ESPN said, would you like to audition for a job as color analyst? And I thought, you know what? Auditioning for my lunch and my rent every week is getting old. I'd love to have a regular paycheck. So I said, what does the audition consist of? They said, a live game on the air. So I went to Chicago Stadium, did Minnesota North Stars, Chicago Blackhawks, and I won the audition. And all of a sudden, the broadcasting career was launched.
Who did you work with that game?
I think it was Bob Miller.
Long time LA Kings broadcaster.
Yeah, my first 5 games, because they were trying to find the right play-by-play guy. My first 5 games, I worked with 5 different play-by-play guys. And in my career, I've worked with 36 different play-by-play guys, at least one game.
Who's your favorite?
Oh, my gosh.
Come on now, Billy.
Yeah. No, you know what? They're, as people, Doc Emmerich is an extremely close friend. It was hard not to love Dave Strader when I worked with them. Gary Thorne was such a professional, such a treat to work with, and Jim Jackson, who I work with now on NBC Sports Philadelphia. I can only say there was one guy that was different, that didn't mix or mesh with anybody, and he was the longtime voice of the St. Louis Blues, Ken Wilson.
Oh my God, I'm not surprised to hear you
Really?
say that.
Really?
You know, I've heard that about Kenny. I mean, that's kind of his reputation around here in St. Louis. He was super talented.
So good.
I mean, as a kid growing up, you loved his calls. He was so good.
Yeah.
But it didn't
As
seem
90
like
kids,
it
90s
didn't
kids.
seem like he was all warm and fuzzy with a lot of the people that he worked with, though.
Well, we did Rendezvous 87. I was there with my wife. He was there with his wife. Her name was Bev at the time. That was when the NHL, instead of an all-star game, decided to play 2 games against the Russian best, the best from the Russians, right? So the NHL had their one all-star team against the Russians. After one game, we were at a reception, and we were standing there, my wife and I, talking to Bev and Ken, and all of a sudden, executives from Bud Sports walked in the door, and Ken saw them. He almost knocked my wife over. He just right in between us, pushed us out of the way. He had to get to the executives from Buzz Sports. So, and I didn't, they let Ken go shortly after that. But the next season, I was working for ESPN, went into St. Louis, and Ken was down talking to the St. Louis equipment guy trying to get a free pair of goalie pads for his son. And I said, hey, Ken, how you doing? All right. I said, how's Bev? Gone.
Oh, God.
That was how he announced that he had split up. Like,
Oh,
gone.
baby, she's gone.
He's like, oh, baby, she's
And
gone.
I used to love it when I can always remember going, and Jocelyn Gouvremont shooting.
The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. You know, nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and you know right off the bat you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview. See, people don't know this about Billy. He does all these impersonations.
Well,
he impersonates all these people.
Let me ask you something, though, Billy.
Including Kenny.
Let me ask you something, though, Billy. Let me go back a little bit, okay? We're gonna get into your career with the Flyers and all that too. And my dad had to remind me, just to be completely honest with you, because I know you from your career, and I know you that you played, but I didn't know how successful you were in hockey. But when you were down and out, you're getting a divorce. Like, how did that all go down? Like, was it just right after your career? Were you guys just not figuring it out? Like, explain the end of your career and how that all went down.
Well, the end of my career took me by surprise. I played my last 4 seasons for Al McNeil, who was our coach. And I had played in the All-Star game representing Atlanta the year before he got there. And I was immediately fourth-line material and bench material. And I didn't know what had happened. And he would never say anything, never explain why. Every year I came to camp, I was the strongest, the fastest, the best condition. I was convinced that I was going to earn my way back into the lineup as a regular. And we moved from Atlanta to Calgary in 1980. So my last 2 years were up in Calgary. And one summer I was just killing myself. I was working out so hard and so often. And I had to have a meeting with Cliff Fletcher, who was our GM. And all of the guys were going in to meet him. It was 2 weeks before camp. And Cliff would never be a stand-up comic. He didn't make conversation all that easily. So I sat down across from Cliff, and jokingly I said to him, just to jumpstart the conversation, I said, well, Cliff, am I still – because Cliff had made a whole bunch of roster moves that summer. Ken Houston was gone. Willie Plett was gone. A number of changes. So jokingly I said, well, Cliff, am I still part of the organization? That was a bad question that day, because he looked right back at me and said, no, you're not. We're phasing you out. Yeah. And the problem with this whole thing was I was kidding, and he was serious. So he said, I'll look around for you and see if somebody else wants you. I had a year left on my contract. I could have gone to New Jersey or Hartford, and I thought, no, I'll take the buyout, which was only a third. The most I made after my 11 years, 2 All-Star games, 2 Stanley Cups, was that last year. It was $137,000. Was the most I made. So decided to move back to Atlanta. I loved living and playing in Atlanta, and that's why I acquired the rights for the restaurant franchise and decided to make a go at it. I had nothing else planned. I certainly wasn't deep financially. I'd lived a pretty fast lifestyle and had a nice house and everything, so I wasn't very deep. And I put together a limited partnership of friends and relatives and investors. And the hardest phone calls in the world I've ever had to make were to investors and friends and some teammates saying, it's all gone. It's all gone. And the guy that lost more money than anybody in my venture, who I'm still really close friends with, his name is John Quattrocchi, a very successful man. He's had his ups and downs in his career, business-wise. He came and presented me with a copy of the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it opened my mind to human development and what can be accomplished through the laws of attraction, through goal setting, through all of those things. And he said, make this your Bible. He said, read it, highlight it, read it again, read it again, read it again, and do what it says. And I would not be where I am today had I not lost everything when I was in my mid-30s.
Wow. But how'd you lose everything, though? Like, how'd you spend all your money?
I put all my money in. It costs money to build a restaurant.
So you lost it all in the restaurant. It didn't work out. Things didn't go up. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it all went. All that I had. It's expensive to build a restaurant.
No, I get that.
And I hadn't had a paycheck in a year when we finally got started with the construction. And I not only did I lose everything that I had, but I owed. Right.
Yeah.
And I went into a Chapter 13, which means I was trying to pay back as much as I could. It wasn't very much. I didn't file an outright bankruptcy. I filed a personal reorganization bankruptcy, which is a Chapter 13. Mm-hmm. And I spent 3 years trying to pay up as much as I could back.
So you and your wife is it so bad to where you're struggling with the money, you guys are fighting all the time, and it just didn't work out, kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
And you know what?
Makes sense.
Was Camelot, man. No, when I was in the NHL, I guess had things been different, and had I had always been respected by the coaches that I had, because I worked really hard when I was on the ice. Al didn't. Al McNeil to me was on a leadership scale of 1 to 10 was a -1 because he didn't even leave you with your own head, and he was just. I remember in 1970 when the Montreal Canadiens won a Stanley Cup, and Henri Richard was quoted as saying, and that's when Al McNeil came up halfway through the year from the minors to coach them. Henri Richard said, "We won with a midget coach," and I thought to myself, what a horrible thing to say about a coach. He couldn't have been that bad. And then in 1978, I started playing for Al McNeil, and I went, "Oh shit! Now I know what Henri was talking about." It just didn't work out. So yeah, life was so good, so easy, so wonderful, and our relationship was so great. And then all of a sudden, things, money was disappearing. I think my ex-wife really liked the glamour of the NHL life.
Who doesn't?
And it wasn't going to be that anymore for a while. So yeah, it was hard. There were a lot of depressing days, and I wrote about this in my book. There were days when I would get up at 5 a.m. to get in to make sure the bakers were there and doing their job, to open up at 7 for breakfast. And there a couple of times I stepped into the shower, and while I was showering, I just broke down and started to cry. And I wasn't even thinking of anything specific. I just started to cry. And without even drawing off, I'd step out of the shower, walk right back into the bedroom, and get into bed and cover up over my head so it was dark. And I'd fall asleep within 30 seconds. That was my escape from depression, was sleep.
Yep.
And those were really, really dark days.
Did you ever turn to any type of substance or anything like that, Billy, or were you able just to focus on getting back on your feet through your broadcasting career and allowing that to turn your life around?
Yeah, I never was going to let any substance or anything get in the way of my hard work and my succeeding. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you that back in the 80s, and I'm hearing even today, that it was a fast lane in the NHL.
Oh my God!
And you know what? I rode in that fast lane now and again. Atlanta was a fast town. So was Calgary. So was Edmonton. Right? But I never let it. It didn't. Nothing that I ever did managed me. Whether it was alcohol or whether it was smoking pot or whatever. I never let it control me. I always controlled it, and it never did get out of balance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
no, me neither.
No, that's great that you were able to control that. So when you start broadcasting, you're getting these national gigs. Like who had the most influence, Billy, on your broadcasting career? Like who's responsible for truly believing in you and allowing you to grow and become what you ultimately became?
Probably a man that passed away a few years ago named Scotty Connell, who was an executive at NBC that came to ESPN. He was a wonderful man. And when I got the audition, I said, "Scotty, what do you want me to be?" Right? I am a planner. I need a plan for everything. So I wanted to know what they expected of me. Like, you just sit there and go, "Oh, nice play. Here's why." Blah, blah, blah. He said, "No." He said, "Look, we want you to educate the uneducated without offending the educated."
Yeah.
Right? We're educate the ignorant about hockey without offending the educated.
Right.
So I prepared, and there were some expressions that I wanted to define, but there's a way to do it. There was a play where one of the D-men really stood the guy up at the blue line. I said, "That's how you stand the guy up at the blue line, and it means more than just staying on your feet. You want to make sure that there's a small gap there. You want to deny him the blue line, and when you stand up on a player like that." So that's how I defined it, but I just sort of worked it into a couple of sentences without saying, "Here's what standing up at the blue line means."
Yeah.
And I think there was a knack to that I sort of had. And I was enthusiastic about good plays. And the biggest thing that he told me was, it's not enough to just say, "What a great play." People want to know why. So as I've worked with young broadcasters, for decades, I said, if you say, "What a great play," or "That's a real hard play to make," you have to hear a voice in your head saying, "Why?" Yeah. And you have to answer it with your mouth, right? That's a great play because he was getting closed on from both sides. He had no time. He had sticks and skates in the way. To get that pass through was a thing of beauty. That's why that's a great play.
Hey, let's talk about the new Bud Light Seltzer.
Oh, yeah.
It's an easy-drinking hard seltzer that comes in 4 delicious fruit flavors. Black cherry, strawberry, lemon lime, and Cam's favorite, mango.
Oh,
With only 100 calories, 5% alcohol, and less than a gram of sugar, you might as well have a few tonight or this weekend. Go to BudLight.com to buy Bud Light Seltzer online. Must be 21 years of age or older. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good.
Yeah.
Now, back to the interview.
So what would you have to explain to people? Okay, so he tells you this, and you're like, okay, how do I define this? How do I interpret this and be creative and funny and unique and in a way? Like, what was a big thing for the fans you're trying to talk to without disrespecting the big boy fans in Canada? Like, what was a big thing? Was it icing? Was it this? What was a big play where like, okay, let me break this down for everybody?
Cam doesn't know icing yet, so if you want to if you want to teach him icing, Billy,
I played 10 years in the show, first one ever from Eureka, Missouri.
Just don't offend me, but just go ahead and explain to him.
He doesn't know.
Don't worry, I'm up on Cam's career. St. Louis boy, makes it big with the Blues and the Devils, and then back to the Devils, and actually finishes in Europe. I followed his career.
Look at that! You got hockey DB up right now. Come on now.
Good.
No,
It's on
I
there.
want to tell you something.
At least it's on there.
There's nobody that ever left a game as a spectator that Cam Jansen was playing in that said he got gypped. You know that? Because they got money. They got their money's worth because, man, you were as tough as anybody. You fought anybody, and you worked as hard as anybody in the league. So that's my I'll be president of the Jansen fan club. How's that?
Oh,
So what's offsides again, Bill?
It doesn't pay very much though, Billy. It may not pay as much as your.
That's why I'm doing a podcast every damn day.
As your off bugs.
But what was it though, Billy? Though, what was it though? Like you had to what was the hard thing? Like, okay, I have to explain this again. I got to do it in layman's terms, but I also can't be degrading to people. Like, explain that. Was it more the defensive gap kind of stuff?
Well, it's taking any kind of hockey expression, whether it be head manning the puck or offside, and like a lot of people don't know what offside is. So say no, that was and if the play was offside, and I say, boy, that was close. He just entered the zone that much before the puck got there. And they're sort of work it in without saying, okay, everybody, here's what offside is, right? No player can enter the offensive zone before the puck actually enters the offensive zone. That, you can't do it that way. And what I wanted to do, and what I still try to help broadcasters with that I think there's a shortage of, is when you're an ex-player, the degree of difficulty of a play. And I always say, always ask yourself, degree of difficulty. Was it easy? That's an easy tell people. That's easier play to make than it looks. Yeah. Or that's a harder play to make than it looks, and here's why. Or how much does it hurt? Like, I can't tell you how much that hurts. When you block a shot with your ankle. I was a shot blocker. I broke bones all over the place. But they can't see under your jersey, right? What areas have less padding than other areas, right? People want to know what's behind the curtain. And all of those things. So I always was conscious of trying to deliver those things to people. Tell the audience something that they don't know. Don't just point out things that they can see by themselves.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that.
Write that down, Andy.
But listen, you've worked with so many different partners. I need you to clear the air with something, because when I first started covering the Blues, you guys would come into town, ABC, NBC, big games, whatever, ESPN. And there was this rumor, Billy, that you and Gary Thorne didn't get along. You didn't talk to each other off the air. You weren't close. You weren't friends. Is that accurate? Like, clear the air there. What was your relationship like with Gary?
It was good. Gary blew up on the air at me one night, during a TV timeout, and I made sure that we smoothed that over. I waited a couple of games, and I took Gary aside in Pittsburgh. And rather than going into detail about what, when I'm working with a partner, I'm thinking that we're kind of in the locker room together. We bust on one another now and again. And I didn't realize Gary was that sensitive about making a mistake. And he kept called Sergio Momesso Sergio Mimosa. And I said, and jokingly I said, Mimosa sounds like we're ready for a vacation, right? Well, and he thought that was, correcting your partner's mistake on the air. And we all make mistakes, right? I mean, mispronounce whatever. And that really bothered Gary. And it really gave us an opportunity to completely clear the air. Well, what had happened was there were times Gary came from baseball, and Gary's a brilliant broadcaster. And there were times when he'd mispronounce players' names that I knew the right pronunciation for. So I would hit my talkback button and tell our producer, at that time, I think it was Tom McNeely, I would give him the right pronunciation, thinking that he was relaying it to Gary. Well, when I finally had my conversation with Gary a couple of games later, we did an open on the ice in Pittsburgh, and I said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" We walked in Pittsburgh, around the old igloo.
Oh, God.
There were round hallways that you walked around where the old nets were stored. So we went back and had a talk, and I said, "Look, first of all, the one thing I want you to know is I would never intentionally try to embarrass you on the air." And I said, "I'm only ever trying to help you when I tell Tom McNeely." Oh, he said, "You don't think I can hear you when you tell Tommy that I'm pronouncing a name wrong?" And he said, "For all I know, they're just all laughing at me in the truck." And I said, "Wait a minute. You mean he is not relaying the information to you?" And he said, "No." So I said, "Gary, all I want to be is the best partner in the world for you, because we will never be perceived to be the best individuals unless we're the best team, right? I mean, nobody looks at one guy. We have to work together." And that really cleared the air. And I realized then there was something that I thought was happening that wasn't happening. Gary interpreted it completely differently. And that's why straight ahead, look, one of the things I wrote about in my book, and it's the greatest enemy of anybody in business, anybody that's in leadership, is the inability to have the tough conversation.
Yep.
No doubt. Right? And those are tough conversations to have, but if you can have them, and it comes from the right place, right? A place of caring, a place of wanting to nurture a relationship, a place of wanting to help and contribute, it can be done. And it was great, Gary. I don't think our relationship was as good before all of that as it was after. And we great. I mean, I'd work with Gary again, and I know he would work with me tomorrow. We had some epic games together.
Oh,
epic.
my God.
Oh, my God, you did.
If you're my age, I mean, listen, we grew up watching you, Billy. And Gary, man. I mean, and then, start covering the Blues, like I said, then to see you guys there, man. You always heard that type of stuff. But, when you start becoming, a household name, I mean, people knew who you were because you're a two-time Stanley Cup champion and you played a long time in the NHL and stuff like that. But you truly elevate yourself to a different audience when you're doing television and national games, and the younger audience starts to learn who you are. Is there a competition? Does that happen naturally with you and your partner? Who's the bigger dog? Who's the bigger celebrity? Who's the bigger name? Who's the one that's responsible for the success on the broadcast? Like, do you sense that? Do you feel that? Did you have that with your partners in the past?
Never. And I know that exists because I know there are other teams of two in the NHL and in other sports where it is a competition, where one guy wants to be the big dog. And I've never, I don't care about being a big dog. I want to be big dogs, right? Two guys. I want the team. And I really do believe that you'll never be perceived to be the best individual if you're not a member of the best team. And it's like winning a Stanley Cup. People hardly ever remember the team that lost in the finals, but they remember almost all of the players that were on the winning team. And for me, you have to be a generous partner and a respectful partner. Know when your partner, when he really likes doing something and it's his turn to speak. The play-by-play guys have to know that they have to leave room for the analyst too. And, you can't be a hog. You can't be a mic hog. And honestly, the guys that make it to the highest level are generally really generous partners. And the one thing that all of the best partners that I've ever had, and to me, they're the best broadcasters, the one thing they have in common, damn, they're smart. Their IQs are off the chart. First of all, to be able to recognize, we work from the damn rafters, right? Like Jim Jackson of the Flyers. I mean, he's pissed off if he can't read the numbers on the sleeves. I said, sleeves? Do they have numbers on the sleeves? And play-by-play guys, they don't even, like Cam, if you're watching somebody, immediately if you eliminate, that can't be a guy because he's a left-hand shot, and the guy I'm thinking is a right-hand shot, right? The play-by-play guys that never played the game, and the majority of them never did, all they look for is the number, not is he a left-hand shot or a right-hand shot. And they're remarkable. Their recall, their ability, their ability to be fluent like a machine gun. Bam, 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 bam. I think they're amazing. They're all of the best are amazing, and they're the smartest guys in the world.
No, you're absolutely right. And sometimes I even forget Andy's name, but he is because he doesn't have his number on his sleeve. So we even got a little argument before you came on board. And that's just how it is. And Andy we're kind of a 1-2 punch here. And, of course, our engineers here. But we go through this every single day. Like, we talk to each other every day. It's a business. You have to work with your partners, and that's the bottom line. But I do want to get back to the Broad Street Bullies a little bit here, okay? And you're dealing with that team, like, just explain that whole mantra of Philly at that time when you got the baddest ass dudes going on. You're a part of the mix. You're winning Stanley Cups. You're popular in the town. Just explain that whole situation with Bobby Clark and Dave Schultz and all those big boys.
Yeah. Well, the genesis of the Broad Street Bullies was the St. Louis Blues bludgeoning the Flyers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we know.
Right. In 2 division finals, and Ed Snyder said, screw this. I'm not going to let anybody beat up my team anymore. So he wanted to build a team of players that were great teammates of one another and that were guys of great character that had toughness. I didn't fall into that toughness category, but they also needed guys that could skate and could deliver the gloves to the penalty box after my teammates did all of the fighting. So that's primarily what I did, was deliver gloves. I wanted to be a doctor when I was, a kid. Next thing I knew, I was, 20 years old playing in the NHL. So it's like, how the hell did I get here? We were so tightly knit. And Bobby Clark is the best leader in the history of the world. I don't know them all. Bobby could have the tough conversation with teammates when he was 23, 22. I mean, and he had them with me. So we had leadership. We had toughness, unbelievable toughness.
Oh, God.
I remember Brian Engblom, who's a dear friend, and I worked with for a couple of years at Versus. He said, because he played in Montreal, and he said, we always knew we were in trouble when our bus would pull in down under the Spectrum, and the big doors would close behind the bus, and the bus driver would turn off the bus, and it would still be shaking. And that's how we knew we were in trouble. We'd ride into town. We'd meet up with as many of the women in the town as we could. We'd drink all of the booze in the town, and we'd beat the shit out of the hockey team, and we'd sort of ride out of town with 2 points. That's kind of how we did it. And
should have given you 3 points for that.
Can I go back in time and hang out with you, please?
Yeah, man. There were no rules. It was great. And what is underrated is, and we were hated as much as we were loved and adored in Philly, right? Blue collar town. As much as we were adored in Philly, we were equally as hated everywhere in the NHL, including by the NHL hierarchy. Clarence Campbell thought we were a blight on the sport, right? Anybody that saw the Montreal Canadiens play, we didn't play quite like them, right? But we had more talent than people gave us credit for. And we were a far better team than anybody gave us credit for. I mean, when you win 2 years in a row, it's not a fluke. And let me I just have to mention this about the Montreal Canadiens. That Montreal Canadiens team would get crushed by the Bruins and by the Flyers, physically crushed and bloodied and beaten. And almost all the time, they never did hang their heads, and they just kept coming, baby.
God.
The Montreal Canadiens were bloodied but unbowed. I grew up with Guy Lafleur. We played hockey as kids together in a little town in Quebec. And Flower was he didn't like the rough stuff, but he was so driven to score that he would take a complete beating if it meant the difference between scoring a goal and not scoring. When we played Bantam, he got his nose squashed all over his face. Teams went after you even when you were 13 and 14, right? And we didn't have wear cages or shields or anything. I remember Guy getting his nose splattered all over the place and coming back with big cotton, stuck up and finishing the 4th game in one day. Right in those Bantam tournaments, Cam, you'd play 3 or 4 games in a day.
Oh, God. I'd be kicked out by the second one, Billy. Who are you kidding?
We couldn't use you, brother. But no, we were a band of brothers that and Freddie Shero was so right when he wrote on the board before our first victory in Game 6. It was we beat the Bruins in 6 games. Still, Bobby Orr was healthy. I don't know how the hell we did that.
Oh, God.
But when Freddie wrote, "Win today, and we will walk together forever." It was so true, and it's so interesting. I've had so many people say, "Wow, what did you think when you walked into the locker room and you know, in the dressing room and you saw that on the blackboard? Win today, and we'll walk together forever." Wow, that's really profound. And my answer was always, "We're getting ready to play Game 6. We looked at it. Okay, that's nice. It didn't sink in till well after that day. It's not as if you go and pull up a chair and sit down in front of the blackboard and go, this is a real heavy philosophical thing that he wrote there. I better ponder this for a while." We just went out and played and won. But it hit me hard, because after we won our second cup, I got traded less than 2 weeks after we won our second cup, because the draft was 15 days after our second cup, and the Flyers wanted to pick number 1 overall, and I was part of the trade that went to Washington so they could draft Mel Bridgman.
Who had a decent career. I mean,
yeah, but
you think about first overall, whatever. But I had to look him up this morning, see what kind of numbers he put up. Time to talk about our boy Dan Bellman. Bellman.com. That's with 2 N's, not 1. BehlmanN.com. Hey, check out the new inventory. Check out the pre-owned vehicles. You looking for a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Jeep, or Ram? How about a Cadillac or a Buick GMC? All in Troy, Missouri. Get your new wheels in time for the winter. Now back to the interview. Hey, but the first Stanley Cup you guys won, Billy, I'm always curious, players who are a part of the team and then they're injured and they can't play when the games matter the most in the Stanley Cup Final. Like, what is that like, going to the rink, knowing you're not going to play, and then watching your team celebrate on the ice and just wanting to be out there? Like, was that excruciating for you?
Well, yeah, I went through that against the Bruins when we were beating the Rangers in 7 games. I had Dave Schultz. We were doing a real physical drill, and he fell on top of me and on my leg, and I had a partially torn medial collateral on my left knee. And back then, they put you in a cast. So they put me in a cast, and I didn't even think I was going to travel with the team to Boston. What did I know, right? I mean, Ross Lonsbury was on our team, and I said to him, "Well, good luck in Boston." The guys were getting ready to shove off. And he said, "What are you talking about? You're coming?" I said, I can't play. He said, "It doesn't matter. You've been with us all season. You're coming to Boston." So I went to Boston, and we watched Game 1, which was an unbelievable game. We were tied going into the last minute, and with 22 seconds to go, puck was dumped in the corner, and Kenny Hodge was right on Moose DuPont's back, and he ended up tackling him. There was no penalty. Wayne Cashman picked up the loose biscuit, and Bobby Orr was on a full gallop coming across the blue line down the middle, wide open, bang on his tape, and he beat Bernie Perron. So we lost Game 1 with 22 seconds to go. Game 2 was equally as dramatic. We go into the last minute down by a goal. And with 51 seconds to go, Moose DuPont was able to thread one through a screen that made it in, and we tied it. And then Bobby Clark won it in the first overtime period. So we had our win right in Boston. We needed a win in Boston. And I thought, I may never get a chance to play in the Stanley Cup Finals again. So we went back to Philly, and the next morning I went right to the hospital and went to our orthopedics doctor's office and said, "Take the cast off." He said, "What do you mean?" "No," he said, "you're supposed to be in it for another week, and then you got another week to 10 days of rehab." I said, "Look, I may never play in the Stanley Cup Finals. I got to at least try." So he said, "Okay, this is on you." So he cut the cast off, and I jumped down off the the table that he cut the cast off, thinking I was just going to walk out. I fell right on my face. I had to borrow crutches to get out. So I thought, well, I'll try to skate. that was next day was game 3. I tried to skate, not a chance. Next day practice, I tried to skate, and man, I just couldn't put any weight on it. So game 4, right now we won game 3. We're up 2-1. Game 4, our trainer says, don't even bother trying to go for a skate today. Just come to the rink, get in the whirlpools. You got to get. I couldn't even bend it to 90 degrees. He said, come on, get in the whirlpool. So I'm sitting in the whirlpool before game 4, and Bobby Clark comes in his undies and sits down beside the whirlpool and said, how is it? And I said, it's not very good, Clarky. And he said, I want to tell you something. I said, okay. He said, I'm not sure we can win the cup without you. And I went, what? And he said, look, Gary Dornhofer is out with a separated shoulder. Bob Kelly's knee is worse than yours. Barry Ashby lost his eye in a series against the New York Rangers when he took a slap shot from Dale Rolfe right in the eye. And he said, we're hurting. He said, the guys from the minors can't do what you can do, even if you could only kill penalties, because that's one of the things you do best. He said, we could use you, but I don't want you to do anything to jeopardize your career. Just understand, when you're ready to come back, we're ready to have you back. Jeez. And he walked out. And I've had people tell me over the years, boy, was that peer pressure or what? I said, I didn't feel that. He didn't raise his voice to me. He didn't threaten me. He didn't accuse me of anything. He made me feel that I was vital to the outcome. And that's the key in leading people, is pulling them, right? Yep. So I said, holy shit, can I do this? I got out of the whirlpool, I dried off, and I said to our trainer, Frank Lewis, I said, take me up. I'm going to go for the warm-up. He said, you can't do that. You can't even skate. I said, I want to try. So he shaved my leg and gave me a tape job, and I went out hobbling around the ice, and I swore I had 2 neon signs on me. One on my back that read, was blinking on and off, that said, one-legged man, and one down by my knee that had an arrow pointing at it that was saying, hit him here, hit him here, hit him here. So I hobbled back up the tunnel to the room, and there's our trainer, Frank. He said, well, can you go? And right away, my brain was screaming, not a chance. And my mouth went, yes. And I played sparingly. I got better in game 5. I scored in game 5. I got better in game 6. We ended up winning the Stanley Cup. And so to answer your question, Cam, I don't know what it would have felt like, but I was so happy that I was able to be a part of it. Because as you know, you're not part of it when you're not sitting on the bench and in the locker room with the guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Cam,
true.
Cam could never come up with that question, by the way.
No, I didn't. I didn't even remember the question, to be honest with you.
That was me that asked the question.
Oh, sorry.
I had to.
That's okay.
I had to give pump-up speeches to the whole team a minute before they went on for the game. Lou Lamoriello and Pete DeBoer would make me go down there and give them like a funny pump-up speech.
When you weren't even playing.
When I wasn't even playing. So that was harder than anything you've ever done, Billy Clement. I'll tell you that right now.
Having to go down there and do that.
I had to be like Daniel Day-Lewis. It was god-awful.
Oh, my God. Hey, a couple more questions with you, Billy. You've been great, and then we'll let you go.
Man.
But you do a lot of public speaking. You said you wrote a book. You're a motivational speaker.
Damn right.
You do impersonations, which I kind of want to hear some of these
impersonations.
What do you got? We got to see
what you got.
We got to see what you have. But your public speaking, like, how much do you enjoy doing that? Like, how active are you? Are you doing that all the time, or have you kind of parked that for the time being?
I retired a year ago from it, and I was very successful financially. I wrote all my own material and kept working, and kept trying different things, and they pretty well mostly worked. But I will tell you something. It's the one thing in my life that gives me the most anxiety is public speaking. All my life, it's as if I've been drawn into the fire, like I walk towards the light, and I don't know why. I guess my dad was kind of fearless, and I don't know, but it was really rewarding because you can affect people's lives if you can really help them understand certain things and be genuine with them. The one thing I always I felt, to an audience on television or a live audience is honesty.
Yep.
And when I took the stage, I would tell them about crying in the shower and about being depressed and about how to come back. What are the steps that you have to take to come back? So I've had a lot of different careers. All of them rewarding, and the speaking, I'll tell you how it happened. when I finally paid out of my bankruptcy and moved back to the Philly area with no connection to the Flyers, just wanted to be able to connect with New York to go to auditions, a friend of mine said, "Can you come and speak at our Chamber of Commerce breakfast?" I said, "Carmen, don't ask me to do that. I hate public speaking." He said, "Come on, you've made it back really quickly. Look, you were bankrupt 3 years ago, and look, you're buying a home now. Everything's going great for you. Please, 250 people, right?" So he said, Tell us the steps that you took to make it back. So I started thinking about it. I started thinking about some of the steps that I took, and I hadn't even thought of them. So I put a 20-minute talk together called From Hero to Zero and Back. And I started speaking, and within a couple of minutes, you could have heard a pin drop in the room. I didn't hear any spoons clanking and coffee cups, and it was one of the most powerful experiences of my life, because I realized, wow, maybe the message that I have, as long as it's honestly delivered, is of value to somebody. And that was basically the genesis of the start of the speaking career.
Yeah, you left out the part when he
what we do.
You left out the part when he said, "Billy, we're going to pay you $25,000."
25 grand. Yeah, exactly. Because you're a beautiful man.
No, they gave me a free breakfast, man.
Oh, there you go.
I'll take that.
There
Who are
you
you
go.
kidding?
Were you making more money doing the public speaking than you were broadcasting?
No.
Okay.
No, broadcasting got pretty darn lucrative when I was working for Versus and NBC and ESPN, because a lot of them overlapped. You know, I had 2 contracts for a while, one with NBC Network and one with Versus. So the money was better.
Double dipping.
And then, Billy, you're like, fuck, okay. I know the Biltmores. I know the Vanderbilts. I'm going to live right next to them. I'm going to look over them. I'm making great money. Is that how you decided to go to North Carolina?
I just wanted to be able to play with the odd rattlesnake, and I have had to exterminate 2 of them. I think I can get arrested if anybody in the state hears it, because they're endangered, but I don't want them at my doorstep.
Hell
I just
no.
don't.
Andy Strickland and Cam Jansen here for you for GadgetBuyback.com. Gadget Lab, they got a store here locally if you're in St. Louis, 5541 Telegraph Road. Here's the deal. You got an old phone, maybe a cracked tablet. Maybe it's perfect, but it's a little bit older. Turn it in right now. www.gadgetbuyback.com. Upgrade your devices, phones, computers, watches.
Anything.
Doesn't have to be Apple either.
No.
Get those tablets turned in. Again, www.gadgetbuyback.com, 877-772-8880. Now back to the interview.
Yeah.
Hey, so when you did the Olympics, though, you called other sports, too. You called badminton. Is it badminton?
Badminton?
First off, are you like...
How do you know that?
How did you prepare for that? How did you know the players?
Billy.
I heard you played back in the day in Canada, but did that really give you enough knowledge to understand what you were calling, Billy? Be honest.
Hell no. NBC saw that in my bio and said, "Look, we want you to be the first year. We want you to be the expert analyst." And I worked with a guy named Don Chevrier. He was play-by-play. And by the way, we want you to be the analyst for ping pong too. So a 7-year-old can beat me at ping pong. That's how little I know about it. So I thought, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And they said, and you're going to do play-by-play on the modern day pentathlon, which is pistol, archery, horseback riding, swimming, and something else. I went, oh my God. But as I said, I am a complete preparer, right? I'm an over-preparer. So, okay, first things first, terminology, right? I got to get all the term. I have to recognize, right, all of the different strokes. I have to know history of the sports. And above all else, I need an expert in the sport that's not necessarily a broadcaster, right? I'm just an expert, a player, right? Somebody that's played at the highest level that I can connect with multiple times leading up to the Olympics. I need videotape. I need to study it. I need to ask 1,000 questions. And that's it. I put my own curriculum together of how to educate myself, because the one thing I wasn't going to do was be embarrassed. And the one thing that I decided to do that I was instinctively, I had a brain enough to do, and I'd go in my sheets and terminologies and explanations to help people understand. The one thing I realized was, do not go where you do not know, right? all I needed to do to stab myself in the stomach with a 10-inch knife was try to talk about something that I was clueless about. So I stuck to the education. I stuck to the knowledge that I had acquired, and I went for it that way, and it worked out pretty good.
Wow.
And then I did play-by-play, and play-by-play was easier because I had an analyst beside me. I just had to kind of call the action, and it was easier. But I was told in the Beijing Olympics, we never went over to Beijing. We worked in little sound booths on the floor of Saturday Night Live at 30 Rock. So only the track and field and the major sports announcers went to Beijing. The majority of the other sports, everybody just waited for the feed to come through. And at 2 a.m, there you were calling badminton. And I was told that I would have to do the women's doubles badminton final by myself. That means analyst and play-by-play. And the one thing I kept praying for, I said, please don't let it be 2 teams from China. What was it?
2 teams from China.
From China. And they
what, do you think there was going to be an upset, Billy? Come on.
Their hair was all cut the same length. It was all the same color. I'm trying to figure out their names, right? Like, are you serious? One of them, thank God, had a knee brace on, so I knew which one she was.
What was her name? You remember what her name is, Billy? Come on now. Give us her name.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something about a name, all right? There was when I first did ping pong in Athens, or badminton in Athens, we had a producer named Amy Rosenberg who was wonderful. And we were in our little booth calling it. You didn't go to the arena. Don Chevrier and I were. And there was one of the athletes from, I think it was South Korea. Her name was Lean Dong. Okay? And Amy, we're 30 seconds from air. And Amy opens the door to our booth and leans in. He said, look, I think you guys might be uncomfortable calling this person Lean Dong. So I just want you to know she prefers her Mandarin name, which is Slim Penis.
That's Andy's middle name, by the way, too. That's what he is. They called him in high school.
Well, you know what? When in doubt, just go back with that. You're fine. And hey, listen,
it's opposite day.
You're the color guy. You're also the play-by-play. And let me just tell you, I'm sure the ratings were through the roof for the bad bit. I don't know how many people were watching or not, but hey, you know what? It's an Olympic sport, so you got to certainly give it its props for sure. So what are you doing now, though? You looking to get back into more broadcasting? You still doing Flyers games? Like, where are you at in your career now?
Yeah, I'm kind of at, decision-making time. I got to see what the season holds, like how many games are going to be played, where are they going to be played. I was only kind of a fill-in for Keith Jones anyway when on the games, I would do 18, 20 games a year because Jonesy was, busy with the studio work for NBC. So I don't know. Haven't had any discussions with anybody yet. I'm going to see what's on the table. I have to sort of survey the landscape to see if I'm interested in it. Fortunately, I don't need the money anymore. And I can finally make decisions from a position of advantage as opposed to a position of need, which is something that, most of us have to do at different times of our lives, maybe all of our lives.
Well, don't you ever just look at your beautiful landscape and say, you know what? I'm not going to do anything today unless somebody wants to Zoom call me or call me when I'm in my office looking over my beautiful landscape.
Probably on a white horse.
On a white horse with a beautiful mustache with no shirt on. Who are you kidding, Billy? Like, why even do anything? You just go chill, and if somebody wants to Zoom you, then Zoom and call a game. Like, do it at your house. Who cares?
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why the hell do you think I'm doing this today?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. What do you think Andy and I do?
We're going to remind everyone that Billy's still out there.
Billy's still out there.
The mustache is still in full effect. Hey, listen, JD moved on to work for a team. Pierre McGuire has suggested several times that maybe he'd be interested in working for a team. Have you?
You're funny, Billy.
Funny how Pierre does that.
You're
huh?
funny, Billy.
Did you ever have a situation where you looked into that, where a team talked to you? Did that ever happen?
No, I think I wanted to control my destiny a little more, and broadcasting came first. It became financially rewarding. I really enjoyed the work, and at the end of the game, we won every game. As long as we didn't have a disastrous show, with super technical difficulties.
Yeah.
It felt great not to not to have a low self-esteem after a loss as a player. And I know I would feel the same way as a coach. And I didn't want to have to move. When I remarried, by that time I was getting in my late 30s, and so was my wife, and we wanted to have a couple of kids. And the last thing I wanted was bring a couple of, and we did have a girl and then a boy, to bring them into the world and then immediately have to, live in a Winnebago. Because if I was a coach, I'd be moving every 2, 3, 4 years, whatever, general manager. It's a pressure position. It's a great life. Being a broadcaster was a great life. It afforded me all of the things that I wanted in the world at that time, and it did right till now.
And just chill now, Billy. Kick your feet up. Watch the black bears crawl up the tree next to your house. You got to shoo them away. We all know how that goes down. We talked to a lot of people. We get weird about black bears and bears and shit.
I know. The bears scare me. Cam thinks you could just pay it off with a credit card.
You can pay it off with Listen, Billy, just give me your credit card. They'll leave, okay? Everything's good.
Like, here you go. And the bear will say, thank you. Hey, go ahead.
I have a 12-gauge gangsta style.
That's what I'm talking about, Billy.
Hey, Billy knows what's
up.
He knows what's up.
Hey, which network paid the best? Like, if all of them said, "Hey, we need you to work on the same day, same time," like, who pays the best?
Oh,
that's a horrible question.
And now, NBC and Versus.
Okay.
I mean, let me put it this way. It kept getting better and better and better. When your contract was up, if they still wanted you back and you were in line for a raise, so they're all, you get to that level, you're adequately compensated. Nobody should cry poor mouth if they get to that level. If they are, they got a bad agent.
No shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
What about NHL? What about real quick, and we'll let you go, Billy. And we're just very interested in you, and we've had everybody on, but like you're just great. NHL 7 to 14.
Wait a minute.
I'm just letting you know. What?
You had everybody on. You finally got down the list to me.
Yes.
You know what?
We just had Wayne Gretzky on. So you are just a little bit below tier than him, not by much.
You're Yuri Curry. You're Mark Messier.
Exactly.
You're just not Wayne, okay?
Wayne was so intimidating. It's crazy, Billy. Good Lord.
Okay, deal. He wrote the foreword to my book, by the way.
Who did? Wayne did?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's the best. I love Wayne.
Did you see his dad just got robbed too by the guy that worked for the foundation, Billy?
He was a police officer.
Yes, no. The girl was a police officer. Did you see that?
Officer in Ontario OPP.
So we interviewed Wayne, and he's talking about his dad the whole time. You know how humble he is, and all of a sudden, the guy that they goddamn hire, Billy, to take care of the fucking memorabilia, to take care of the charities, the one guy that you are like, that's your right hand man. He stole $500,000 worth of shit. And then some lady that was a police officer stole shit too. Like, God, isn't that horrible? I know. I'm sorry.
Who could steal from Walter Gretzky anyway?
You're going to hell.
How bad a person could you possibly be?
Good Lord.
To do that from Walter.
Oh, anyway. Well, get your shotgun armed because they're probably going to steal your memorabilia too because it's probably worth even more than Gretter's. Go hang out, Billy. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for doing
You're
this,
the
Billy.
Man, dude. You're the best. I appreciate everything.
Yep.
Okay, my brothers. I really enjoyed it. Good luck to both of you. Stay safe and, check in down the road maybe.
We will, man.
And
we
just want to remind everybody, you are available for hire.
No, don't do damn thing, Billy. Kick your damn feet up and scare away the bears. We love you, dude.
I have to get out on the horse and do that.
Take that shirt off.
That's hilarious.
Take your shirt off.
All right, Billy. We'll be in touch, man. Appreciate it.
My wife
everything.
will be watching. See you, buddy.
Okay, boys. See you, boys.
Take care.
Yeah.
That was Bill Clement. I should have asked him about his nickname back in the day. They used to say Clement, hands of cement.
That sucks.
Why did they say that to him?
Because his hands suck.
They ever say that to you?
Yeah.
A lot?
They said, just Cam, you suck at everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. Does that include my hands?
Did it hurt? Did it hurt when you heard that?
Yeah, of course. I lost my hair. That's how I became so depressed because of that.
Okay, what were you thinking when I told you Bill Clement was coming on, and what were you thinking after we had him on?
I'm like, Bill, yeah, I know Billy. Like, I know video games. I'm a big video game guy, man, especially NHL. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, cool. Like, he's a big boy. And then you meet him and you talk to him, and he's just so damn down to earth, and you're like, oh, this guy's fucking cool as shit. I could talk to him forever. Like, he's one of those guys that you could just like go on and on. Like, let's talk about fucking North Carolina. Let's talk about this. Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you spend your money on? I love asking people how they spend their money.
What if they don't spend their money?
Then I kind of like look at you like, then what the fuck are you doing? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to save it for all my grandkids. So they don't even know who the fuck you are at that point. Mm-hmm. Like, who gives a shit?
Does it bother you that Hitch doesn't spend his money?
No, okay, if you're spending, okay, how was it? Here's what bothers me. If you have a ton of money and you work just to work, and that means your family's like, we have 40 in the bank, and you're working every fucking second, you're not with me and my kid and the kids, and we have all this cool stuff, but you're not around because all you do is work, then fuck you. That's how I look at it. So what's the point of what's the point of that then? You're neglecting your family because you work all the time. But if you're doing that because you got to make money for the family to fucking survive, that's one thing.
Right.
Like all these fucking Canadian boys up in Alberta that are texting me.
That's
like
right.
I'm fucking grinding it. But these motherfuckers, they got fucking 40 in the bank, 10 in the bank, whatever the case is. But you're working because you don't want to be around your family. That's how I look at it. Who the fuck wants to work all the fucking time?
So you think people, as they get older, if they continue to work, you just look at it like,
fuck
you must not want to be around your family.
The fuck you doing? Wives at home, you're gone for fucking weeks at a time to get what? More money for what? Your kids are taken care of. You don't even fucking see them.
How much do you have to have for your kids to be taken care of, you think?
You gotta have. Well, it depends on what you mean by taken care of. I think
like where they don't have to work and they're good and their kids are
But
good.
you don't want that. You want them to be set up for just like if they fuck up, you have something, something stable for them.
Let me ask you this: What if, like Patrick Marleau or Joe Thornton, like they just keep playing and playing and playing? I feel like it's a little bit different.
Playing's different.
I think it's different because I think their kids are probably like they don't want him to quit playing.
No, that's different because you're doing that for the family too. It's different. Playing's still playing because you know it's going to stop. But if you have a job. So I'm not talking hockey players. I'm talking like agents and fucking lawyers and whoever.
CEOs.
Or politicians. They're the fucking worst. All they do is work and all their whole family's just like, why, all this pressure on us, but you're making money, but we have 100 in the bank. What are you doing? You don't want to be around us. So it's like, fuck you. All you do is work and you don't spend your money. You don't do anything. Like, fuck you. I don't know. The fuck's the point of that? Seriously. Well, I love working. Well, that means you don't like spending time with your family then. So fuck you. Am I wrong on this?
What are you doing?
Help me.
No, I understand.
Am
what
I
you're
wrong?
saying. No, I think this. But see, it's wrong because it's completely unrelatable. Like I could never relate to that.
No, we're not there.
No. But what I'm saying is, if I had that much money and I was older, I'd be like trying to find every way possible just to
stay home. Andy,
and to be home.
We're in our 30s and we're doing this. We're about to do the same thing.
Can we just go hang out in Colorado for the next month?
Like for us though. I want to sit in my fucking basement and do this. And you sit in your fucking nice-ass house and we talk to each other that way. Why the fuck do you need to go anywhere? Unless you have to. Now, we're not in the same category. But when guys make a shit ton of money, and like, well, what are you doing? Well, I got to go travel to Russia. Like, that just means, and your family's like, oh, hi, can we hang out with my daddy?
I got to go to Dubai.
I got to go to Dubai because
for the next 3 weeks.
3 weeks. And, you know, we got 50 in the bank, but I'm going to do, what?
And that's
like, can I hang out with you?
That's why the wife goes to the Christmas parties and they see you with Bud Light Seltzer.
Well, that's why the wife
goes. That's
goes.
Why she's like, I want to be with.
Yeah, when she comes to our Christmas party, she's like, oh my God, you guys are fucking studs.
That's right.
My husband has more money than you, but you guys are actually funny and cool and give me attention. But he just works, but the bank account's okay, so I spend money all day with my kids. But my husband's not here? What the fuck is that? I don't know. Am I out of my...
No, man.
I might get texted.
You might.
Is it controversial?
I think it's okay. I don't think it's that controversial.
No, I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it is.
I can be controversial. I'm not going to...
Yeah, no. You haven't been very controversial at all today.
I'm actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Just fucking enjoy your goddamn money. You work your fucking ass off. Enjoy it with your family. If you don't like your family, then you got to fix something. That means you and your wife aren't fucking, you know.
How about your boy Yager? He's like still playing.
He's not married. He doesn't have kids. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't give a fuck.
He owns the team.
He owns the fucking team. He does whatever he wants. It's a different story. If he wants to fly somewhere private to meet some fucking chick, he will.
If he wants to say, hey, I'm not playing for the next 2 weeks.
I'll do it.
Because I'm going to Switzerland.
What are you going to do? Cut me on my own fucking team I own?
Listen, good luck.
I'm just, you know what I'm talking about with that.
Good luck against Bratislava. I won't be playing in the game.
It's just like some people, man. I don't like when people make a lot of money and they brag about it and they're fucking cheap. Fuck all you. You brag about your fucking money to everybody, but yet you don't even pick up the fucking bill although you got fucking 50 in the bank. Fuck you.
I know.
I don't like, and I'm not like the kind of like pick my tab. Like, no, I'll do it. I spend money more than anybody. But when you fucking make a ton of money and you brag and like you're fucking cool and you're cheap, go fuck yourself. Write that down, all you.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people agree with me on that.
You have big Christmas plans? What's the plan?
Man, I'm chilling, baby. We got so much shit going on.
What's for Christmas dinner?
I'm gonna.
Did you go to Walmart? Pick up a
Fuck
steak.
you. I went to Cam and Butcher because I'm sponsored by them because I got a bunch of sponsors, which is good. But I'm going to take a pork belly. I'm gonna cut the fat of it. I'm gonna put a bunch of seasoning on that bad boy. I'm gonna sear it to get that fucking skin crusty. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cook another bone-in ribeye there, a standing rib roast, I should say.
On the stick or whatever, on the bone.
On the stick, Andy.
On the fucking stick.
You need to cook some fucking meat. Ty needs to grow.
No, we're making.
You're feeding him fucking grass again. I could tell. You don't even know what the fuck that is. You're feeding him grass, and I don't like it. He's going to have to come to Uncle Cam's house for Christmas so he can get some meat.
He would destroy it.
He would destroy it. He would love it.
God.
And you would never want to leave, and then you get pissed at me.
No.
Here's the point. I'm going to do a standing rib roast. I fucked up the last one. I ain't going to do it this time. I know how I fucked it up, and I'm not going to make a mistake. But I'm also going to do the pork belly, too. And then Kate's going to do all the, little appetizers. And then we're going to have the last Christmas at our
Will you be
our
with
cute little
your
house.
parents and stuff?
Yeah, man, of course. They live right next door.
Did you get your mom and dad anything?
I'm getting I go again, corner butcher.
You're getting some steaks.
Oh, I'm getting them fucking fat ass $100 tomahawks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting them fucking ribs, and they're gonna do whatever they want with it. And then I'm gonna get. Well, I shouldn't say what my mom and dad like to chill, so I'm gonna hook them up with a couple different things.
good.
Catch my drift?
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna hook them.
So they can get their mind
They
right?
get their fucking mind right, and they listen to me on the radio and the podcast. So my mom and dad can
Do they
fucking
listen
chill.
to the podcast?
Fuck yeah,
I'm
they listen
thinking
to every.
about having your
they
parents-
listen to every motherfucking
I'm
thing
thinking
I
about
do.
having your parents on as guest without
They
you.
will entertain everybody.
Without you in here.
My parents are, and I'll say this right now, and you can quote me on this.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are the OGs of fucking hockey parents in St. Louis. I don't give a shit.
No, they are.
They will never accept it. They'll never admit it. I want them to be in the Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame like I am. They won't even want to do it. They won't even want to go. But they deserve it more than fucking any other parent, in my opinion. That's just me.
Under the parent wing.
On the House Spring Hoosier, nothing to do with hockey, no money, do whatever, and they figured out how to get me as a psycho fucking kid into the NHL. You deserve a fucking award.
That's quite the achievement.
They're the
So I'm
OGs of
thinking
the
about-
hockey parents.
Okay, I'm
St.
thinking
Louis.
about bringing them in. Like Dan Bellman's an OG
Telling
too.
you. Fuck
Okay?
yes, he
Okay.
is. So the Ruppers, there's some OG
Ruppers and
motherfuckers.
OG.
But I was the first one, and my parents figured it out.
Yeah.
And they had no connections with any hockey
Did you know
person.
you were the first one? Like, did you know you were on your way to being the first one?
Yep.
You did?
Absolutely did. Damn right I did.
Because you played in Jersey, so it didn't get
Andy, I knew I was the first one when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, you knew no one had ever made
No,
it?
that's what you think about. Who's made it from St. Louis when you're a kid?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is he?
Pat LaFontaine.
No, he didn't. And his name shouldn't be above mine at the Centene. It's so funny. No, Pat, go ahead, give him that. But he was 7 years old and he moved to fucking Minnesota. It doesn't count. You got to grow up here and you got to go through the system and you got to figure
No,
it
you
out.
have to play at least through your Bantam major year.
Yeah, dude. Like that's the way it goes.
Yeah. So Clayton Keller counts.
Yes, he does.
Because
Count.
he left. He went to Shattuck.
Yeah, but he grew up
But
here.
he grew up here. And he
grew up
would
here.
never have gotten to Shattuck if it wasn't for people like Big Walt and Jeff Brown
There
and those
it
guys.
is,
So.
Andy. How did he get to Shattuck? How? Because he was good in here. He was good in St. Louis growing up. My parents are the OGs of the hockey parents in St. Louis.
And they knew nothing about hockey. Who was the Blues alumni that had the most influence on your career? No, but like who you knew. You didn't know him that well, did you?
Yeah.
No.
I did.
Not when you were a kid.
Oh, as far as growing up?
Yeah.
Oh, watching?
No. Like who
who?
you first met.
Chaser.
Who like
Chaser kind of
talked to your family and stuff
Rick
like
Zombo, I'll give him that. Rick
Okay.
Zombo, because with the Sting, he got
Right,
fired right before I went to the
right,
St. Louis Sting
right.
in North American Hockey League.
Right.
He got fired. It fucked me up. I was smoking darts with our fucking
Like, because
coaches
even
and
like
shit.
Ben Bishop and some of those guys, like they would say, like Perry Turnbull and some of those guys.
Perry was
you
there
know,
too.
You know, the first practice that I ever coached, ever in my life, was with Basil McRae.
Basil was there too.
And
We named our dog after
and
him.
Basil, we gotta get Basil on, dude. I'm seeing all these fight videos of him. He's one of my favorite people.
He was awesome.
Love
We named
Basil.
our little Scottish Terrier
So
after
I
him.
show up to practice, and they're supposed to have a tracksuit for me, and there was no tracksuit there. So I had to go out there in jeans.
Oh, you're fucking
And
embarrassing.
he made me do a lap in front of the entire
should.
team.
It's fucking embarrassing.
And you didn't say no to Basil.
No, you don't. But look, as far as that, like,
But he's
watching
my
all
guy,
the-
man. I love Basil.
But like Chaser did help me. Bobby Plager was scouting me when I was young too.
Was he?
Yeah, he talked to Marcel Pronovo. He always says that to me.
Who?
Marcel Pronovo is a Montreal Canadian.
It's not the guy who owned the Quebec.
I don't know.
Marcel Aubu, who owned the Quebec. Nordiques.
Marcel Pronovo was a fucking big time Montreal Canadian, man. He was our scout in Windsor.
Oh, cool.
And he and Bobby would talk about me, and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, my Bobby would call Marcel and be like, "How's my fucking St. Louis boy?" You know, Bobby, love him. God, we love him so much. We take him everywhere with us, and they'd go back and
take him
forth.
everywhere. We do.
take
I love-
Bobby fucking Plager everywhere with us. to Nashville to fucking anywhere. We take Bobby on a private jet.
That's right.
We take Bobby on anything. And you know what happens to Bobby? We're like, where's he at? All the boys fucking drinking and fucking nice, awesome bar. Where's Bobby? We all get up like, where's Bobby? He's our fucking pride and joy. 10 fucking Cougars all in one room.
I know
he's right in the motherfucking meadow. Fucking spitting game like he's fucking 25 playing in fucking St. Louis.
Like he's Bob Barker.
He is the best of the best, and we love him dearly, and we take that motherfucker everywhere we go.
Yeah.
He's our godfather.
Listen, on a serious note, we want to give a shout out to our boy Brody, who handles all our social media.
Love you, Brody, man.
Social media director.
He's a fucking
pumping
best.
out all the clips, man. Suffered a tragic loss over the weekend with his dad passing away, man. So Brody, we are thinking about you. We're thinking about your family, all you, man. And
Brody, you want to come over for Christmas?
You're gonna get through this.
You want to come over, Brody? Anything you want, man. We're here for you, dude. And I'll cook some good food for you. You might get food poisoning from it, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But Brody's doing good. He's a rock.
He is.
We call him every second.
Yep.
We talk to him. He went through a weird time. His daddy passed away, but he's a fucking smart kid, and he's a part of our group, man. He's going to build with us, and he's going to be very successful. He's got a cute girl, and he's got good things going for him. He's going to be okay.
He's got a dog.
He's got a fucking dog. He's got us. He's got a family. He's going to be good. And we're here for him. And that's what you do. That's what the fuck you do, man. Poor kid. God damn it.
Yeah.
Make me fucking cry.
So we're thinking about you, Brody, and we got you, bro.
Yeah.
So anyway, as always, this show is brought to you by CarShield and carshield.com. 800-857-2481. Mention carshield.com. Mention the promo code.
Sexy.
Mention the promo code.
Cam, C-A-M, I could spell that. It's easy to do. All you got to do is type that bad boy in, and you're going to get, what, 10% off?
10%.
Let's go.
So embarrassing.
Let's go. What, are they going to put Andy in there? Andy Kaufman? What are they going to say? Who's Andy?
Hey, but you know what's not embarrassing, man? It's when you get that protection, man.
Dude.
It's the best
When I
thing
had
you've
my
ever
starter
made.
out,
It's the best decision you'll ever make. I can promise you that. You never know when something's going to go down. You know what I'm talking about. You heard me talk about CarShield now 101 times.
102 times.
102 times.
Podcast.
Whatever. Yeah, this is the 101st episode, so.
Okay, so 101. Might be. I'm a mathematician.
Although 2 times and, well, whatever, several times on each podcast. Anyway, 800-857-2481, carshield.com. Mention that promo code CAM. Like I said, you'll save 10%. How about Bud Light Seltzer? Do the holidays right. And it just doesn't stop with the holidays, too, man. This is a year-long thing, man. We love our people over there at Bud Light Seltzer. Check out the flavors, the black cherry, the strawberry, the lemon lime, and the
Mango.
And the ugly Christmas sweater pack. So check those out, too. And, man, we love our relationship with the people over there with Bud Light Seltzer. All the people. I got text messages over the weekend. People sending me pictures in their chill zone with their bottles of mango.
They want it up in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Now it's on draft, too.
They want it up in Canada so fucking bad.
Oh, I know they do. Can we please get it into Canada? What can we do?
I fucking email. Like, they are like, dude, Cam, I want this. I don't even care what it tastes like because even though they probably have Molson up there, whatever
they need it.
They're like, we watch you guys, we listen to you guys. If you listen to a podcast religiously and somebody talks about something, you crave it.
Yes.
I don't give a shit what it is. Like, you crave it. And Bud Light Seltzer is like the best of the best. Like, you're gonna love it no matter what, even though you probably never had it before. We're gonna work that out. We'll figure that out. But we love AB, and I'll tell you this right now. Again, St. Louis kid, Andy, St. Louis kid. Fucking Jamie, our engineer, St. Louis by AB, fucking takes care of the city, man.
Yes,
Anheuser-Busch, baby.
Yes, they do.
They take
but
the
they
Blues,
take care of everything, man.
The Blues, the Cardinals, and Anheuser-Busch in this fucking town.
Yeah.
Oh, we are lucky to have all three of them.
There's no doubt, and they take care of everybody.
Yeah, they do.
You know, so I mean, all the pictures and all the stuff we get, man. Hardly any of them are from St. Louis. You guys are from all over the place, man. Celebrating.
I love it
with that Bud Light Seltzer. Again, check them out. BudLight.com. They'll deliver it to your front step. Unquestionably good. There's no doubt about that. All right, we got to talk about the CBD chew.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, CBD chew. We're starting a campaign January 1st to get Cam to quit chew.
Yeah, man.
But not just Cam. All of you out there that want to quit chew, you can't find a way. You've tried some of the other alternatives over the years.
Getting a lot of messages.
And they just don't work. And Cam will be the first one to tell you that too, man. A lot of the alternatives don't work. But I think we found one that does.
So here's the deal with me right now. I've been addicted to chew for, sounds like 11.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
So about 34 years, something like that?
Yeah. No, since I was like 12, I think AAA I started doing it. I had my buddies, my brother's older buddies, buy me chew at the gas station.
Your coaches would see you chewing at 11 years old.
What's Don gonna say to me?
He'd take the chew out, and he would say that back then.
Yes, he fucking.
Come on,
smacked me.
don't act like he
I'm
wouldn't.
just saying, but I'd still do it. And then so I got addicted to Kodiak, and Kodiak was so hard on my lips, man. Like fucking killed me. So I switched to Grizzly, which is still god awful, but it sticks. We do shit all the time. I'm getting chirped from people when I'm talking on the podcast about I can hear you with the chew in your fucking mouth. You sound like shit. You sound like you with a list.
You know who you are who complain about that. Come on now.
I know you're listening, and I hear you, and I'm listening to you. But I sound like I
get the messages. What is in Cam's mouth?
Well, it depends.
Depends
what
which
I'm doing.
episode.
What I'm doing. Is it the weekend? Here's the deal. It's tough to get off fucking chew, guys, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I put this in and it works perfect." It does work. I'm still going back and forth, but I do find myself when I'm doing my radio show every fucking day, unlike you, and I'm doing a podcast and I'm doing interviews and all that shit, I can't put my chew in anymore. People are complaining, so I put that in, and it gives me the satisfaction. It chills me out. It's got a little bit of CBD in it, so it chills. Am I at a point now where I'm taking and I'm saying, fuck you, Grizzly? Not yet, but I'm getting there, and I'm starting to mix and match a little bit more. It's going to take time. And I'm working on it, and I will say this, it does work, and it does chill me out.
All right, you said it has a little bit of CBD in it. Let me explain what it is, because it is 100% American-grown hemp.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
That's what I want.
So they developed, and not everybody has, but they have found a way to deliver CBD through the mouth, man. So it's not a little bit. It is CBD.
It makes
it's
you
a
chill.
lot of it.
It makes
okay?
you chill out.
All right? And no one else has been able to do this so that you can actually enjoy it. They use coconut fiber.
That's what I want, baby.
Coconut fiber and all other natural ingredients in their formulation. So it's incredible. Check out their website, because I want everyone to order it now so you have it when we start our campaign. Don't wait till January 1st. Get on this now.
And again,
so you can do it with us.
I'm fucking dick deep in this shit,
Yes,
dude.
yes.
It's not like I'm like, well, I chew a couple. I'm chewing a fucking log.
What kind of deep?
Dick deep. And I'm chewing a log a day, homies. I'm spending fucking $25 a day on it.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm chewing a log a day, dude. But I do it for like 5 minutes at a time, and I'll take it out. It's just a waste of fucking money. Where I could take these little pouches and put them in. No one knows they're in there.
It's a waste of money,
Andy,
and it's bad for you.
Andy.
And it's disgusting.
Andy, I fucking know.
Okay.
I hate when people that aren't addicted to shit fucking tell me what to do. So shut the fuck up.
I'm going to tell you.
Seriously.
Hey,
no, but it's a lot easier for my mouth. Like your smile's there and shit. Like it's not stuck in my fucking teeth.
You know what traditional dip is?
I like how you don't.
You know what it is?
Don't fuck with me.
You know what it is?
What?
It's a hassle.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's gross.
It's expensive
It's
as shit,
addictive.
Too. Yeah. And you look like
so
shit.
messy. And it's also over 100 years old. Like, this is so old.
Dude, I'm a fucking cowboy.
It went out with the hula hoop. It went out a long
Hula
time
hoop?
ago. Yeah, it
No,
went out with the hula hoop.
fucking horse and
It went out
buggy.
with the fucking horse and buggy, too.
Like, come
so
on.
get in with the times, dude. You don't need to be chewing on that Grizzly shit.
No.
Put some CBD in your system. They've got some unbelievable flavors, too. I'll tell you about my favorite here in just a minute. But you know what, Cam? They've got wintergreen.
His favorite.
That tastes like the real thing, eh?
It's there.
Mint.
Wait, time out.
Mint?
Look, I'm not fucking around on this campaign. Let me stop you. I'm not going to be like, I quit yesterday. Like a fucking liar would say.
No, we're not doing that.
I'm fucking dick deep in this, and I'm working on it. And I'm telling you, it's starting to work. I'm not there yet, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
But it's there.
5 flavors. Wintergreen, mint, citrus, American spice,
I like that.
and
like the spice.
mango.
Fucking
They've got mango flavor. We love that. We should just put our podcast logo on top of that bad boy. The mango flavored CBD. What's your favorite? I like the American spice too. You know that's the one I've been
Listen to
trying
me.
get.
Right now, I got Grizzly Wintergreen, so I need to do the Wintergreen right now. I'm telling you.
CBD, the Canadips Wintergreen.
The Canadips
Can
Wintergreen.
I try one of those?
No, you can't.
Oh,
why am I getting you into it? You're helping me get me off of everything.
Well,
Stop.
It doesn't matter. It's not addictive. And
No,
it's
I'm just
not-
saying.
It's not nicotine.
I'm not wasting on you. I'm not wasting it on you. I need it. Good God.
Okay, let
but
me
I'm
ask
doing
you
the
this.
Wintergreen because it just tastes where I need to get the level off a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
If somebody wants to try it for the first time, what flavor are you going to point
Depends
them
on what you're doing. Okay, are you skull fucking cherry? Then you might want something kind of like zesty or whatever the fuck.
Fruity, yeah.
Fruity maybe. So it just
citrus.
depends. Again, my emails.
But if you're like,
everything's open for me, guys.
Here's my opinion.
Oh,
on
what
it,
is your
okay?
opinion on this, Andy?
If you've been
Jesus Christ.
chewing for a long time and you really want to quit, you might want to get maybe the option that most resembles real chew.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
What else? What else can we learn from you, Andy? What else can we learn from you, Andy? Good God.
Wintergreen.
No shit.
Or
Dude. I just said that.
Okay.
Though. Yeah.
Okay.
You do what's best for you.
Yeah.
They have the flavors. Take your time. You don't have to go cold turkey, but whenever you're sitting there and you're watching football or hockey,
just put one
and you're
in.
like, instead of putting a fucking grizzly in, just like, no, I'm going to do this. That's how you do it.
Okay, so order it right now. www.canadipscbd.com. CanadipsCBD.com. They're open 24/7.
Fucking A, they are.
And have that delivered to you. Straight out of Humboldt, California. If you know, then you know.
You know, baby.
Okay.
You know.
You know what's up.
Yeah.
Who's hung out in NoCal
Oh, shit.
before?
Fucking expensive for me, baby. It is.
It's beautiful up there, man. Redwood,
no shit.
the redwood forest, you
Andy,
know.
how much coin you got?
You get close
what are you
to-
going to buy? A one-bedroom apartment up there?
Well, you just sleep in the woods, man. You
No shit.
you go sleep in Yosemite or something.
Yeah, with the bears.
Anyway, all right. So check that out. Of course, Bellman.com,
Yeah,
BEHLMANN.com. Get that new car, man, in time for 2021. The best deals are happening right now. Let's just be honest.
Dude. Do
okay,
your thing.
let's be honest.
Getting winter time.
Bellman.com. Check it out in Troy, Missouri. They got the Cadillac, the Buick, the GMC. On the other side of the street, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. So many selections. If you want to buy a convertible and wait till the spring to drive it, do it because you're going to get a good deal. You need a four-wheel drive car now. You need something for the family, something big, something small, a compact vehicle.
Whatever.
Man, and they got the best customer service you'll find anywhere in the country. Would you agree with that?
Oh, my God. Yeah, well, do I need to say it?
You can go ahead.
There's no swinging dicks, okay? There's no, like, 15 fucking dudes out there creeping your broad out when she wants to buy a fucking Volvo or something.
Yeah. Oh,
Volvo?
Volvos are nice.
They're okay. Bellman doesn't have one, so fuck them.
But you like.
I'm just saying, maybe a fucking Buick, like your wife's like, oh, can I buy this? And like, whoa, fucking,
Oh, if you have
I'm
a used car
tougher than
sitting in your garage, though, man, they'll buy that from
yeah,
you right
dude,
now.
it's all good. No swinging dicks. That's all that matters. You
No.
guys know what I'm talking about. I need to explain it again.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. KeepItHandsome.com, too. Get the shampoo, get the conditioner, get the beard moisturizer. Make sure you're smelling good to close
Smell
out
handsome.
2020.
Your broad wants you more, man.
Closing
Your
out
girl, I should say.
2020 in style. Do it the right way, man. And get that Fight Ugly hoodie, man. We love the hoodies.
Everybody
Got a
asks.
bunch of NHL players behind the cause. You'll hear more and more players getting behind it as well. So check it out. Get the Fight Ugly hoodie. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save 15%. Go to KeepItHandsome.com today. Order the hoodie. I know people are reaching out to me in my DMs asking if they have youth sizes. We're working on that. I know the kids want to wear them. Right now, I don't think they have youth sizes, but we're going to work on that and get you some smaller sizes for the junior Cam and Strick listeners, man. We're going to hook you guys
which
up.
we
man.
don't really want you listening too much because I'm
Well, what's the age limit?
12?
12 and over?
Because when I was 12, I was kind of like, whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Is it a little older than that? Or
Probably
no?
should be like 17. But that's okay.
Okay. All right.
Are you from House Springs, Missouri?
I don't know. So check that out. Get the Fight Ugly hoodie, man, and take a picture like so many of our listeners are doing when you get it in the mail and show off that bad boy, man.
Yeah,
Fight
dude.
Ugly. We're fighting the ugly. Portion of the proceeds go back to the Montreal Resource Center that fights anti-bullying. So again, man, we're all about that cause, and what Mirko and those guys do up in Montreal, man, is unbelievable, and we're happy to be a part of the cause.
Goddamn right.
We also have our hats right now. Hook them up. We've shipped them out to Hawaii, to Canada, Vaughan, Ontario. We see you. And listen, we don't control the shipping. I know in Canada the shipping gets a little high, man. Whatever you can do, man, we appreciate and understand that we don't create
this is
the shipping prices.
This is all
you
new
know?
for us too. Like
Yeah.
just getting all this shit
Yeah.
out here. So
Yeah.
just bear with us. We got a bunch of new shit
We
coming
get it
out.
out to you right away, though, man.
We're gonna do our caricature on shit. Like we have just a bunch of stuff. So just bear with us, guys. And you know we want to make it right. We want it to look right for you guys. That's
Great
all.
color combinations, too. So check out camandstrick.com. Order your hat today, and we'll get that out to you. Of course, we collaborated with our boys over there at Victor Hockey. Check them out, victorhockey.com, at Victor Hockey USA on Instagram and Twitter. All right, this has been episode number 101 with Bill Clement, man. We really appreciate him jumping on with us. He was a lot of fun.
Damn right.
And we wish all of you a
Merry
very
Christmas. Love you
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Love you all. Love you all. Seriously, enjoy yourselves.
That's right. That's right.